Good evening, everyone. Before I bring on the panel, I just want to say thanks for to everyone for coming out. Uh, I know it's a bit short notice right now, and it is a Friday, so everybody's out probably having a good time with what little free time they got. But I've managed to assemble an excellent panel, I think, from around the world, and we're all going to kind of go and put our 2 cents worth in to kind of deal with the worm that one of our brothers actually put in my head the other day. Mr. Hemi Four Speed, this is all your fault. So, if you were paying attention when I was talking about on my other live stream there about the gun grab that's going on here in Canada, Hemi made a comment stating that where he is in Ontario, essentially those people are so domesticated by the government that they would just hand over anything they asked for and get down on their knees to lick the boot of the government. So, the big question tonight is what's a slave? What does it take? What qualifies a person to be a slave or in some kind of indentured servitude? Because the indentured are in no better position than a slave himself. So, I want to share with you here, if I may, a couple of images. Some are from the past, some are from fiction, but not really. So, our first image here is, of course, the Knights Templar. Well, it's a picture of most of the knights, but a lot of these people were actually just common farmers, men that, were looking for 2 square meals a day. The other knights, the higher ups, of course, leader of houses, big houses back then, landowners, they were all lords. Um, they were essentially expected to do certain things. Everyone else was just bribed with something little, you know, like I said, as low as 2 square meals a day then to come fight in our army. Now, this being a religious war as it was, of course, the church got involved big time. And we had true believers, right? Especially back then, there were lots of true believers. And I do apologize if it's very pixelated. But the church basically was essentially the fill-in for the bribe. You know what I mean? They told these men that nothing you can do in service of our army or our agenda is a crime against God or, your fellow man. And they believed it. So they went willingly. They still got their 2 square meals a day. They got to do all the pillaging they could, which they did lots and lots. They actually killed more of their own people or their allies' people during those times than they did the enemies. And that's all in the history books as well. So, were the majority of these men slaves? Some would say, yeah. I mean, they were given a very small portion of payment or some sort of influence to come do evil deeds for essentially a government. On our next picture here, you probably might know this guy. This is Steven from the movie Django Unchained, one of Quentin Tarantino's. And to be honest with you, it's up there in my top 5 of his movies. Now, Steven is what they used to refer to as a house slave. Right? He was a house servant that worked for the masters of the slavers back in the US and in other countries, of course. They all had those house slaves. But if you've watched this movie, you notice that as this movie goes on, they really kind of show that Stephen wasn't as much a slave as he basically became the master's puppet. And at the time, the Mr. Candy guy, played by I can't even remember his name. That guy. I mean, he was actually his confidant, right? Stephen was the one, and in this scene here specifically, that pointed out that the people that were there, the doctor and Django, were actually not there on an honest terms. And his opinions were actually taken very seriously. So here's the question: is Stephen still a slave? Because he's in cahoots with the master, is he still a slave of that master? Or is he just a slave in name alone? Okay. So this goes to a bit of a different story. This goes into the tyranny, right? Where fear, abuse, and the potential murder of a person is used against them to force them into slavery. So that's possible as well. And moving on, if you don't know who this person is, this is Fritz Haber. Fritz Haber was a Jew who worked for the Nazis. The Haber process of how we use our oil field refineries now to make ammonia to fertilize our crops, that came from him. So did Xylon B and a few other very toxic, terrible chemicals. But he was a Jew under somewhat penalty of death, right? They did use it against him a few times as a fear tactic, and that's recorded. That if he didn't work for the Nazis during World War II, he would have faced his own death. Now, at the same time, he's listed as a sociopath, and from his own records, it's very clear to say he is. I mean, this man's wife killed herself because of the actions he was trying to convince the Germans to do. His son died, I believe, from suicide as well. This guy didn't take a break for a moment. He just went on. The gas attacks that they used to do back in World War II with chlorine gas, he's the one behind it. So here's the question: is he still a slave, or is he more like Stephen, still following the path? And of course, we can go into the modern day. Well, first, yeah, before we go into the modern day of where they're trying to take our guns, let's not forget this little beauty, which Fritz Haber also had a hand in, of course. But yeah, before they took all of those, they collected all the guns first and disarmed the populace. So that moving on, we have this little gem that I got from a post that I put up the other day that I told you guys about. And this is one of the comments or part of it. So this woman, although I had to block out her name, she doesn't agree with anything we're saying, with anything I'm saying. And as you can tell from her comment right here, she does not believe we live in a communist country. I have to differ. I, I think most of us would disagree with what she's saying here. But at the same time, is she a slave? Just like the people that Hemi mentioned in Ontario? Yeah, in a way she is. But she's an indoctrinated slave, just like the Christians back during the Crusades, the ones that were true believers. She is indoctrinated. She is a liberal puppet now. So, how can she say we don't live in a communist country when she's essentially a puppet of that communist country? And most likely, this woman's been through a divorce. She's most likely a single mother of some kind. She's most likely been on some kind of state benefits or welfare benefits. And really, that's all the state had to do. All they had to do to get most women to comply, to follow their lead, was, essentially say, hey, we'll give you a little bit of cash while you're, soaking your baby daddy for everything he's worth. And you know what? We'll throw in some food stamps on top of that. So is she a indentured slave? Bribed? Who knows? I mean, where do you want to classify her? And of course, if you don't believe we live in some kind of communist country, remember this photo? I had it up, I believe when me and Eric Zombro did this live stream about the police not being your friend. I mean, they arrested hundreds of truckers, hundreds of protesters that day right here just for trying to stand up for freedom. Isn't that what they do in communist countries? So that's what we're kind of going to explore here tonight. And before we go any further, I want to bring on the panel. So we got Mr. Manly Load. Welcome, sir. Hello. Apparently he's gone. So we'll move on. We got Singletown Bachelor with us. Hello, sir. Hello, Manly. Welcome back.
Yo. Yeah.
And we got
Hello.
Man.
Mr.
You
Eric
go.
Zombro, who's got his mic muted, but he's there. Hello, Eric.
Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Good, good. And we got Mr. Billy the Goat.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Hello,
Good
Billy.
evening.
Thank you all for coming, guys. I think for a panel based on these topics alone, I think we couldn't have done much better. We've got people from all corners of the world. Most of us come from first world countries. And let's go over the details here, guys. Do you think that we are free?
No,
Nope.
I think it's the illusion of freedom.
The illusion of freedom, yeah. Yep, I
Perfect.
would agree. I would agree with that. So here's the thing. The biggest problem that I've had with these neighbors that are too, turbo leftists, right? Will believe anything the Justin Trudeau government will tell them, is that essentially, even when, like, if we went back to World War II right now, where they were hunting down Jews house to house, the Anne Frank story, or not Anne Frank story, but the who was the little girl in the attic again? My God, my
Anne
brain.
Frank.
Anne Frank, yep.
Was it Anne Frank?
Yep.
Okay.
In Holland.
Yes. So if we went back to those times, do you believe for a second or doubt for a second that the woman that I was having that conversation with wouldn't turn me into Justin Trudeau's Gestapo?
Of course you would.
We
And
had
you know what's so
Gestapo
funny is
here.
most of these people say, like, I would have fought. No, you wouldn't have done a damn thing. You would have gleefully participated.
Let me tell you something about my country was occupied by the Germans, Nazi Germany, for 5 years, and they said that according to scholars, they calculated that 1% were in the resistance movement,
Mhm.
and less than 20 kilometers, 10 kilometers away, there is a place where they shot the people from the resistance. So yeah, we have it under our skin here. So no, we are not any better than those guys.
None whatsoever.
No.
Yeah.
Just different times, different shit.
And different methods of control.
Yeah.
Right now,
Perfection.
the force control is not used as much. Of course, we have slavery hasn't gone anywhere. It's just evolved, right? I mean, these politicians that have been supporting, China's rule and stuff. China has these Uyghurs, and they've had them for years now in internment camps where they're doing, what was it they were doing? Forced sterilization,
Yeah.
Forced surgeries of other types I believe they were doing organ extraction,
That's right.
forced work camps. And this is in a country that most of our politicians are trying to get in bed with.
Yep.
Not excluding, of course, Justin Trudeau and Joe fucking Biden. So,
yeah.
do you still think you live in a fucking democracy of some kind? Or do you live under a fucking totalitarian communist regime?
I have one word for it: mirage,
And what does that mean?
an illusion.
Oh yes, definitely an illusion.
Like in the desert, you see somewhere where an oasis, and it
Yeah, the
doesn't go there.
mirage.
Yep.
Yeah, a facade, I believe I like to use the term as.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly agree with you guys. We live in a fucking society that is a facade of freedom, as you said, Eric.
I'll
The
drink to that.
illusion. So here's the thing. Disagreeing with my neighbors on posts that I make or comments that I make on their posts when it comes to everything that's been going on since the vaccine and the fucking mandates and now the gun grabs and stuff. What do you think a person should do right now? Because you know that these people, like I stated, will turn us in. If Justin Trudeau's Gestapo say, hey, point out where your neighbors are that are unvaccinated, show us where the Jews are, right?
Yeah.
What do you think we should do with those neighbors until then?
Isolate
robe?
yourself from them.
Yeah.
Well, that's one way of doing it. Unfortunately, in smaller communities, people know where everybody is.
Oh, of course, I know.
Yeah.
But if you can isolate yourself from them, if you can't, I mean, you know, there's a movie called Failsafe with Henry Fonda and Walter Matthau.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And in that movie, Walter Matthau makes a excellent point as to, you know, why you should never give up your guns. And he said, how long would the Germans have kept it up if every Jew that they tried to grab met them with a gun? And he said that you have to grab the guns. They had to grab the guns first before they could grab the Jews. You can't give up your guns.
Of course. An armed populace is a dangerous populace to a totalitarian government.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So
If-
my vote is isolate yourself and arm up. That's
And make escape routes under your house possible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do whatever
and
you can to have an
have a
exit route.
plan.
Have a
Yep.
plan.
You have to have a plan.
I would also have an escape route, a room where it's sort of like EMP'd, sort of like, you know, you're sheltered from EMF frequencies because they can sort of, you know, get into you with these frequencies and upset you and track you. You know, it's always good to have a couple of places to run to where, you know, it's a bit rural. Maybe there's no antennas in the area, you know, somewhere in the middle of the forest or something for a week or something. You know, it's good to have a place to run to.
Well, when shit hits the fan finally, and
Yeah.
we all know it's coming. I mean, the shelves are emptying out more and more every day.
That's right.
We are hearing that food shortages are absolutely on the way, and I mean like starvation level food shortages.
Well, the issue is that
Excuse me.
we're on this side of the fence, aren't we? So we know this is coming. On the other side of the fence, the people who are following the leaders, you know, you got 15% of the overall people who lead in the world, and 75% of the rest follow the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to 50% of us to be the majority. And the issue is that we're seeing it from our point of view, that we're not going to take the vax. We're not going to put up with these rules. So we know that we're going to have food cut off, electric cut off.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's in our soul. We feel it. You know, we sense that this is coming. We just don't know when. That's the problem.
Well, I think personally we're already there.
Not
just
quite.
We're just
not
at
really.
the tip. Just at
I
the
think-
tip.
I'd agree with that. We're at the tip.
We're
There's
at the
only
The tip maybe. I think you got to turn electric off and the internet off, or turn a few people's phones off, and then you'll see absolute chaos.
Well,
'Cause people won't be able-
no, that's
People have
coming.
to-
That's
Yeah,
coming.
it's
Right
coming.
right now,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first thing is the food. Like,
Yeah.
what was it? There's only I think at the time when I looked, there was only 72 days of grain for North America left.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And everything else is going to run out 1st I
Mhm.
mean, that stuff they stockpile for years.
And Bill Gates trying to get everybody to eat insects. You know, he's trying to get that into people's minds now. So they're going to starve out the food and get people to eat all these weird foods. And You know, sort of like Soylent Green with insects. You know.
Oh, without a doubt. Whatever movies you've watched, I mean, I haven't watched Soylent Green, and I know it's quite old, but if you've even like watched, well, one of the latest ones was the Snowpiercer, although it was a terrible
Very
movie.
similar. You know what? Did you know the original script was actually human meat, and I swapped it out in the
For
movie.
insects.
Yep, it was
Yeah.
actually human meat. They swapped it out for theatrical release.
Yeah, I think everybody said the book was quite different compared to the movie,
Yep.
but
Yep.
although we might not be trapped on a train, obviously, being trapped in these internment camps or, even in our own communities, being cut off from supplies, that shit is definitely coming.
Well, I think that's
Definitely
what everything that I've read and everything that I've talked to about like different scenarios is what they look to do is lock down the communities.
Yeah.
You know, lock people down and make them hunker in, and then go from place to place and take what they can to keep the community going.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
confiscate. You know, if someone has a hoard of stuff, they'll confiscate it and share it with the entire community. Like that. That's what I've read. The military goal is to do, like to mobilize, lock everything down, and then go from house to house, confiscating what could be used.
Yep. So if you've got some efficient thing going and you've got your own workshop going, that'll be now communal.
Not only that, your own small garden, whatever the case may be, any stockpiles that you have. I mean, I expanded my garden, and I could definitely take care of a few people for a while.
You're prepping in a city, say goodbye to that food.
Oh yeah. You
like
better have somewhere.
I had about 8 months supply of food and water for my daughter and myself. Well, with my daughter here, I probably had about 6 months for myself and my daughter. Now, for just me alone, I probably have about 8 months. But that would be confiscated and delved out to everyone, so everyone had a fair share, I guess you could say.
Well, and the link you sent me earlier today, Eric, and where the guys were mentioning essentially the Battlestar Galactica series.
Yes.
I believe the separate show or short movie that they made was called Razor, which was the other Battlestar class ship where they essentially took the personnel that they wanted, the supplies they wanted, and left everybody else to fucking die.
That's right.
I mean, that's not unconceivable to this day.
No, that was the plan if there was a nuclear war. Like you even saw it in that movie Greenland with Gerard Butler. Like essential people would be, evacuated and put in safety. Like, like your architects, engineers, stuff like that, doctors,
Yep.
And then everybody else would be, left to incinerate.
Yeah. And they had a slave class, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't do ore processing or refining of some kind to keep the fucking machine going, they were essentially booted the fuck out.
Yeah, like like in that movie Greenland, like every oil worker that was like near a facility was transported. Like key essential personnel were. That was it. Like that was what was taken.
Yep. And I mean, it's possible that we could fucking throw all this aside, right? Our politicians could throw all this aside and say, okay, we are actually all going back to normal. Sorry for the holdup. And of course, with people's stupid mentality, like the woman who I've been having that conversation with, and everyone else that's basically part of the fucking indoctrinated, right? Like Hemi was saying. I mean, they'll just forget it. They'll forget the last 3 years. They'll just totally wipe it from their mind. And with the World Economic Forum essentially stating out that they want to be able to track us now based on our carbon footprint. That
meanwhile,
was the new release.
Meanwhile, the Depp and Heard trial.
Yeah.
Well, all that goes on. Literally, the first week of the Depp trial was where the first week of the World Economic Forum was hosted.
They have
what a distraction,
nice and distracted right now.
Yeah.
Right. And like I said, with what they've stated in the World Economic Forum about wanting to track everybody from medical information and everything they do, where they go, what they consume, all based on the premises of we want to track your carbon footprint and help you reduce it. Not that we'll take all this information and use it to promote you in the way we want, let you lean the way we want, show you what we want you to see, and use all this information to control you. Because they've never done that before, right?
While on the other hand, they are flying around in private jets themselves.
Yeah.
Smoking
Yeah.
cigars and drinking children's blood.
Yeah.
And you have to remember something, Chris. When shit does hit the fan, most of the people that have been indoctrinated, like that woman you had the conversation with,
Mhm.
they will stick to their agenda and their beliefs right to the very end.
They will walk right into the fucking incinerator.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for the betterment of mankind because
That's
that
right.
guy told me.
And that's what the theory for all these vaccines are. You know what I'm saying? With all these 5G frequencies, they can
Yeah.
making you more magnetic receptive. They can actually alter your brain waves. So as you see a suggestive thing on TV, and you're more likely to be susceptible to it. Just
more
like
or
a
less
baby,
that.
just like a child is when they're watching TV, because the child is in I think it's beta state, so they're more likely to be absorbed to it. You know, you can see children zombified by TV.
Well, I mean, look
And
how zombified
somehow-
the or passive the population is now. With the
Mhm.
vaccine, we've all heard the numbers, right? Of everything going up from deaths from blood clots to heart attacks to literally everything except for flus, right? Um, this shit obviously doesn't work, yet we still have tons of these people out there promoting it. Tons of them still running around with a mask on their face.
Mhm.
The indoctrinated are essentially showing them who they are, right?
The hernia.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said right at the start it was this was an IQ test.
pretty
Yeah.
much. Well, you
Yeah.
said it the other night too. Essentially, they're basically looking to count and see how many people they can pacify or who are already pacified,
Yeah,
right?
what
Who
stage they're at? Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
what level of indoctrination they're willing to follow, you know what I mean? How far can we push as many people?
Mhm.
Because you don't
How
need everyone.
how loud can the wolf bark, and how far will the sheep will go? You know, how far to
Exactly.
the edge, close to the edge, the cliff edge will they go?
Yeah. And with these face diapers and vaccine passports, they might as well be a walking fucking billboard.
Well, what was it? Rachel Maddow said that that's how she knows who she can trust and who she can't trust are the people that were in the masks. Remember when she had that on
Yeah.
her show?
Yep. 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 Uh,
Because she said, I still feel more comfortable with the mask on, and I feel more comfortable when I see people in the mask. That's how I know I'm around my kind of people.
yeah. Yeah. That is how you can find your people, your
Yeah.
indoctrinated people. Everyone else, you turn into the fucking Gestapo
Yep.
for
That's
processing.
exactly right.
Or sorry, re-education. That's what the Chinese called it, right? Re-education.
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 The re-education camps.
That was
yeah,
also the what the Viet Cong was doing. They say they did, but either way, they basically shot them.
Yeah. Shot them, mutilate them, enslave them. What does it matter? So, really, I mean, you can almost look at the diaper heads right now and
Yeah.
say they are the slaves of our government right there.
Yep.
Not only will they fight for this government that is looking to do whatever they want with them and everyone else around them, but they'll help them by turning in guys like us to the Gestapo. All right. They will fucking point out where the Anne Franks are. And you know it's true. And it's all a part of that conditioning that we've been going through for years, for decades. Decades, this conditioning's been going on.
Well, the Anne Franks have been rooted out a long time ago. I mean, I think you got to go back to the Viking stage where that they invaded this country, and it's happened to other countries in America where they've stole all the good women and took them back over to their country. Because you look at Europe now, and then compare it to the UK. I mean, the beauty scale is non-comparable. Like the UK is a bunch of trolls compared to Europe, you know.
Hmm.
It's because they was all took out. So there's been this mass immigration from history all over the world, and children have been ferried all over the world after world wars, and so all these what do you call them? Not constituencies, but areas have been uh, infiltrated, and what do you call them? Like the Atlantic slave trade, but just a female version, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, like Brandon was saying, I mean, the lesbian thing, you know, they can pretty much point them out too, right? The LGBTs, the woke mafia, the Antifas. I mean, everybody that supports those groups.
And don't forget feminism.
Yeah, well, and the
Someone
feminism
identifies as a feminist, you know right off the
Yeah,
bat where their agenda lies.
right
yeah.
away, just by look alone. Just by
By
look
look
alone.
and just by that word, I'm a feminist.
Yeah. But I mean, they don't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
They mark themselves as poison to us, right? As we said, in nature, colorful creatures generally mean poison.
That's right.
Most of these
Yeah, yeah.
That's
lesbians,
exactly right.
feminists, all color their hair bright colors. There you
Yeah.
go. It's as good as wearing a mask. You know what I mean? Big
And
billboard.
to finish my point with the Atlantic, I didn't actually finish my point. The point was that they've left all the dregs behind. So like all the women that was loyal to the husbands and loyal to the religions and their current governments before being overthrown, they was shot and murdered and burned. And you remember in the UK, burn the witch trials, burning the witches. But there was actually burning all apparently uh, benevolent psychics and people loyal to their churches and husbands.
Hmm.
That's what they was actually doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did that all over the world, you know. So with women right now, unfortunately, they're suffering from years and years and years of genetic altering through mass slaughter and immigration.
Well, not
But
only
slavery.
that.
not even that. Look, just if you look at the European feminist movement, they actually hate pretty women. I mean, look what they did to the grid girls. Look what they did to the dark girls. Look what they do to models. I mean, they've actively participated in the destruction of beautiful women. Like models now, if you don't think a fat, disgusting cow is beautiful and should be walking down the runway, there's something wrong with you.
Not only
And,
that, it's healthy. They're
It's,
trying to
and,
promote
and
it
it's
as
healthy.
healthy.
and the irony of that is that a female's beauty 9 times out of 10 isn't actually naturally beautiful. It's this artificial media cultural beauty that's been imposed onto them.
Yeah. I'm
So it's
sorry.
not even
And-
it's not even natural. Yeah.
Yeah, and the hysterical part is most of the beauty standards that the feminists are fighting against were engaged by women alone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you know, leg shaving, armpit shaving, you know, makeup.
But
That was all started by women.
makeup's a good one, yeah, because the Greeks actually, I think it was done before by the Babylonians and Sumerians. But
Yeah, the
Greeks
Sumerians and the
commercialised it,
Babylonians did it.
yeah, and women wasn't allowed to because it was only for actors, and it was actors imitating female fertility. It was their way of being a female on stage by putting this makeup on, and then the prostitutes it started emulating it because it was exacerbating female fertility. You know, they was on heat. You know, rosy
Yeah.
cheeks, red lips,
Well,
Red
and
lips,
they,
and
cheek.
so it become a hooker prostitute thing, a sleazy thing. You know,
well,
and
look
then,
look at the geishas or whatever of ancient
Yeah.
times. I mean, they
Yeah.
fucking didn't just paint it on; they slapped it on like Bondo,
Mm,
right? They changed
Yeah.
how they looked from the beginning, and
Looked like they
red
put it on
shit-
with a spray gun.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in Asian culture, a fair-skinned woman. So, I mean, it used to be in all cultures, especially around the world at the time, where somebody of lighter skin, so she didn't see much sunlight, was considered more beautiful, right? So Asian women used to fucking slap on this. It was essentially lead-based makeup. They would
That's right.
slap that shit on as thick as they could to look as white as they could, and then they would paint on these bright rosy red cheeks, as Manley was saying, right? It's a way of showing and basically putting that billboard up that here I am, right? and now we all do it in
Yeah.
a certain type of way. I
It's
mean,
like that. It's like that Hollywood version of where the woman lifts up that little skirt on her thighs. It's like that invitingness, you know.
are you talking about Marilyn Monroe?
Well, or women, like all those old-fashioned films where the woman just pulls up a little skirt to invite the soldier to have a way with her, kind of thing.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. It's definitely a way to entice and attract, right, and to advertise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's the same thing they're doing everywhere right now. I mean, the reason we have so many people with fucking coming out with their own kind of agenda on their gender or what the fuck they do or how they feel inside, and then basically making themselves look like some kind of oddball that came out of a circus, is because they're trying to identify themselves and put a billboard on themselves, because just being one of the crowd is not good enough anymore. Now I have to single myself out and make my billboard completely unique. Right? And this that seems to be all they focus on. I mean, I have seen people not understand what the fucking letters on a compass are for, but yet they can talk about the 89 different fucking genders. And they just came out of fucking college.
Mm-hmm.
What the
God,
fuck?
yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Chris, but last year there was a study done. I think it was by New York Post and Ohio State University, that the college assessment skill test before and after COVID hit, that people are graduating dumber than when they went in.
Yeah.
Like,
well, they've stated that
they don't know any
worldwide.
map skills. They don't know. They can't write. They can't write a letter, like, sit down and physically write a letter in script, or like, dear sir, madam. They have no applicable skills whatsoever with some of the degrees that they have.
Yeah.
They're just helpless morons who fell victim to an agenda. It's sad. Well, not sad, but it's just
backed
just
up
crazy.
and supported by your government.
Yep. And it's not, and this was a study in Canada and the United States, so it's not just the United States; it's Canada too.
Oh, it's most of the
University
world.
of Toronto. There was another one in Quebec and one out in Alberta. Three of them were three big ones, and many of the Ivy League schools here in the United States. People are dumber than when they went in.
Oh, absolutely.
I think a big contribution to that is, like, when I was a kid, I could just go down to the park and go down to I can go down alleyways and do mischievous shit and be with nature and stuff. And nowadays, people are in a concrete jungle because they've locked everything off now. It's all sectioned. You can't go anywhere. You can't create your own path. You can't invent your own. You've got to walk down these paths because it's all fenced off. And I think this is having a massive psychological effect on creativity, because it's stopping people thinking for themselves. In the same fact, is having a sat nav, and people are losing the ability to navigate the roads naturally.
Well, Manly, on that topic, I mean, look at what all of these big block stores like Walmart and stuff did. They put arrows on the floor.
Yes,
right?
yes.
They've left those arrows, but they are not requiring that you follow them, and people still follow them.
Yeah,
people still follow them. They do it here too.
They're as good as fucking cows being led down the run to go to the fucking slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Those arrows are still there. They might be a bit faded, and yet I still see people looking down at the floor and following them arrows. Not required.
In my town, there must be a group of troopers, because somewhere I haven't found them yet. But as soon as the lockdown ended, they ripped them up off the floor and ripped them all the vaccine things off the lamppost. It was brilliant. Anyway, sorry, carry on. I just had to share that.
But that's what people should have done, right?
Yes.
From the
all over
get-go.
the world.
Be like, look, I'm not fucking following your fucking arrows. Fuck off. It's all about control. Like I said, we're not seeing any facts here. We're not backed up. They're not backing anything up by any kind of science.
No,
this is
but
all part of the
if someone had
conditioning.
did that, I mean, you saw what happened to people who were like, you don't need a fucking mask. They were ostracized. They were kicked out. They were practically arrested.
Yeah. Well, dude, we're still seeing people abusing other citizens. basically enforcing these mandates that are no longer mandates for the government still, right? Still enforcing it to this day. Like
Yes.
right now, if I walked around in a Walmart that still had its arrows down and just walked backwards, right? Eventually I will find someone that will say, hey, you're supposed to follow the direction of those arrows, even though you're not. You're not asked to do that anymore. But they've put it out there, right? Like I said, this argument that I've been having with this woman, she's completely lost. And as I stated to her, if you want to keep believing that, you go right ahead. Nobody is coming to save you. Okay? When they fucking come for you, there's going to be nobody left. And if you don't believe we live in a communist country, go ask somebody in this country who came from one, and they will tell you, yes, you are. You are living in a communist country. Your fucking leaders are nothing but dictators. How do I know this? I literally just fled one. For my fucking life, I literally just fled a communist society, a dictatorship fucking leader, to come here and only to find there's a new one.
Yep.
But yet they won't believe it.
Yeah.
So, Billy, what are your thoughts, brother? You've been pretty quiet. Are you falling asleep or?
I'm following. I'm just listening. Following, not sleeping.
That's good.
You guys are covering it pretty well. Control, fear, shame, compliance, complacency, neglect. All these sort of things factor in a multi-tangent kind of way to corral and control the population. You can't have all these radicals doing what they please, can you now?
No.
And ultimately, like turn them into cattle as an analogy, or some sort of resource, extract, exploit.
You mean you didn't like that summer of love with the mostly peaceful protests?
I missed out, so I'm all butthurt from that. That's my spite coming through there. So if I can't have pleasure and basket or frolic in the grasslands, then neither can anyone else.
Yep. Sorry, go on.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure which way you want to sort of take this. Not ask me really. Like, if you're wondering, like, so why is it people are so easily led astray or easily handing over control of their life? How would you sell the idea of being a slave or being abused and exploited for everything, and have a person say yes please with a smile on their face and want more?
Yeah,
it would seem preposterous. So a little bit of manipulation.
Yeah, I was going to say that some of it's manipulation, like Chris brought up, like that picture of the Crusaders, this in 1099, the slaughter of Jerusalem. Like all of those people, all the knights were told that it's God's will that you slaughter all these people for the good of God, so that you'll go to heaven. Like they committed probably one of the worst atrocities in history.
Yeah.
On the whim of religious doctrine, religious dogma.
Well, the Muslims were budging in on our territory at that time.
I'm not saying that.
So
I get that, I do, but what I'm saying was, like,
it was actually 5 crusades.
Yes.
Not one. They started because
the first
Muslims
crusade,
would not let what's it called?
They weren't allowing travel to the holy sites for Christians.
Yes. So they were. Well,
no, and I get that, I do, but I was just talking about the act of travel, how they motivated them to do it. They were manipulated into doing a heinous act.
You might notice the linchpin in pretty much all of how we're describing it and discussing it is the the emotional aspect of it, and in what ways that becomes the downfall of someone's or a population's security. So if you want to manipulate someone, if you want to abuse them, you get that person, your target, into a position of vulnerability. Now they're defenseless. They can't. How are they going to resist if they are in that category of vulnerability? They're essentially they're weak. They can't fight back, can they? So you bully them at that point. It's much more easier to bully them. You could be more blatant and upfront and just be like, look, do as you're told, or we're going to kill you. So first of all, you've got to kind of like exercise, as in flex their boundaries, and make it insidious and a gradual, like boiling the frog, gradual increments until the target is unknowingly well, they're not going to really particularly realize they're in a position of vulnerability, but you condition. That would be a popular sort of phrase to throw in here. You condition the populace to become more accepting and to hand over the responsibility of their autonomy and self-care. So we instill a level of codependency or dependency on those targets, and so this is why they'll eventually be asking you, please make me a slave, because I can no longer look after myself.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been saying it for years, and a lot of people have been saying it for years, that fear works for politicians, right? We on the higher step, right? We have the government who pushes fear to the masses, right? Because nothing is ever good. No politician has ever come out and said, "Hey guys, today everything's good. You know, we got the same old shitty things that we're going to have every day, no matter what, but everything else is good." No. Fear of war, fear of famine, fear of disease, fear of fucking your neighbors, fear of everything. Everything is fear driven. And that's
look how Democrats pander to blacks. If you don't vote for us, Republicans are going to put you back into chains, or you're not black if you don't vote.
Yeah, yet
you don't vote for me, you're not black.
The Democrats were the original slave owners.
Yep.
Yes, you said it. You said it the best, Chris. Slavery has evolved.
It has
never went away. It's just evolved.
Absolutely. And I mean, we still have human trafficking between Canada and the US going on to this very fucking day. And the thing is, governments know about it.
Of course.
Police know about it. And when they try to fucking do something like those 48 kids that they found down in fucking Texas, or no, was it Texas? I can't even remember where it was, but I'm sorry. They deserve fucking medals all around. They found 48 or 49 children that were in the sex trafficking system, and they shut them down.
Yes.
Why? This was a good thing. This was a fucking win. Why? Because the government doesn't want that win. They want more missing children. They want more problems. They want you to be afraid.
It's because the culprits using the children are in the government. That's why.
It almost makes you wonder if they're not on the payroll.
I think a more deadly way, instead of saying evolved, because evolve can be a somewhat of a natural process of time extrapolation, but also evolution doesn't necessarily have to be a positive, advantageous. Even though selective evolution should, in theory, be for improvements. So what we're seeing is a refinement, which means it's much more targeted, much more being specialized. The powers above and the elites and things like that, they're fine-tuning their art, their craft, and they're able to now, we can see that they're still figuring things out. They're still trial and error and experimenting and seeing what kind of sticks, but they're on it now. They're trying to work out and strategize a way to maximize and pinpoint with precision how to give them more time. They'll become much more skillful at it. How to really guarantee their sort of objectives.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to have you don't want like anomalies loose that manage to escape. So they're trying to. It's like Pokemon. They want to catch them all.
Yeah. And they definitely don't want anybody to be educated more than they need to be, right? That's why they've allowed the education system to devolve in the way it has, right? And they've supported these groups because it leads to this, basically completely ignorant people.
Oh God, yeah.
They wanted to separate people who use logic from the rest of society because we can't have people thinking logically, which is generally men from their children, right? Men from the families. That was all part of it as well. They push these fear tactics, and they just keep rolling it up. You know what I mean? They'll see what they can get away with no matter what. And now I think they've reached the point to where they said, you know what? We have enough people indoctrinated. We have enough people that don't know the difference between North and South. We are good to go. And that's why they're taking these extreme measures now. That's why the World Economic Forum is now getting together to talk about how they can track us all and monitor every fucking move we make, where we go, what we consume, who we interact with. Now they have that system pretty much ready to go, and they know that a good majority of the population will just line up and take it.
That's right.
They'll
And-
walk
and
right
they-
up to the slaughterhouse.
From what I've read and from what I've heard and from what I've seen, they're trying so desperately to get rid of cash so that
Yeah.
you are dependent on using your card, so that if you don't go along with the system, they can just shut you out of the economy.
That's right. Trudeau fucking locking down people's bank accounts based on whatever the fuck they decided to say that day was a
We have
good
it here.
guess. Well, you have it there already?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Do explain.
Well, you have your credit card, and you have your phone with the bank with well, you have an app from your bank, and then you can via some you can transfer it via your telephone. If you for example forget your card, you can do it by phone.
Yeah, you can use your phone to pay.
Mobile pay, basically.
Which is scary because if someone gets a hold of your phone, like
Yeah.
you're screwed.
Well,
sort
haven't I
of.
got that? Haven't I got that like underground app that pops exposed, where that it's just the government's constantly tracking you. All these phone companies are just sending you all these data of your location and everything. I watched these live. It was a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
Remember that? Yeah.
I'm
So,
pretty sure he did, but I can't remember what the hell it was.
So,
Yeah, he said one of his mates found this underground app that no one can tell. It's not on the app or nothing. It's actually embedded in the phone.
Yeah, when we buy a new phone, it's generally already got a bunch of loaded programs you can't do fuck all with,
Yeah.
well,
right?
if you can buy a Linux telephone, then you might be okay.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I still use cash personally where I can.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
If I don't have to use cash, I won't use any form of currency at all. Like if I have something that I don't want and somebody else wants it, I'll just fucking do a trade when they have something I want. You
Yeah.
know what
I mean,
I
I'll
mean?
tell there is a benefit to it, and this is the benefit that I've got with the wireless. Is that if I carry any notes or anything higher than say 20, 30 quid, I do carry the card and I do use the wireless purely because I've been pickpocketed twice up there already. So that, if they pickpocket the card, they need my number, don't they? So that's the only one good thing. Or maybe live in an area where there's less scum. That would help. So.
Yeah.
Well, after the
Well-
shutdown of the bank accounts here with Trudeau, a lot of people took all their cash out of their accounts, right? Kept it open, and when they needed to use it to pay bills, they would put on the exact amount of money that they needed, right?
Yep.
And they would pay their bills, and that's it. The bank
Yep.
account sits empty. My bank account sits empty. If something comes out, there's an overdraft there that I can cover, right? Like if it comes out and I didn't expect it or didn't remember it, it'll cover with the overdraft, and I will go in and top up the overdraft plus whatever's needed, type of thing, and that's it. My bank account sits empty because right now that they've done this and gotten away with it, right? I mean, there's no massive lawsuits against Trudeau's fucking dictatorship here that's going on right now, where they are saying what you did was unconstitutional and I'm suing you for it. They've done it and gotten away with it. And now banks are trying to apologize to the people for allowing it to happen. Right? It's like,
Well, the banks are panicking because everybody withdrew the cash.
yeah.
And
a lot of
everybody
people.
that still has accounts, as you said, when they get direct deposit, they just go and get the money out and just leave what they have to pay for bills.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like a lot of the lending institutions are running out of cash to lend, to, you know, to invest, to a lot of things.
Well,
So, I mean,
during the COVID thing, some shops wouldn't take cash because of the Berg, and they were allowed to do so by the government, and that's direct counter to what rules they are to follow, because it is stated in the Constitution. So that's it was only a temporary measurement, and we know what temporary means.
Yeah, it's temporary today, permanent tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
that's
guys,
what temporary measurements mean from a government.
Did you know I was actually refused entry to a shop because I wasn't wearing a mask? Bearing in mind, I got legitimate medical pass as well.
You're not the only one. Lots of people.
I wasn't allowed in to buy food. It was my local community officer as well.
Dude, there's literally hundreds of thousands of videos of people being denied services based on the fact they're not wearing a mask despite having medical exemption. And that's why Justin Trudeau's government here did away with medical exemptions.
Yes.
So
they were pushing hard for the vaccine passports to be permanent.
But, and you know what? On YouTube's got a lot to pay for this, because like if you look at all these 2022 Karen videos on YouTube, they label most of the people defending the right not to wear a mask as Karens.
Yeah. That's bad.
I mean, what the fuck is this?
What the fuck is that? We had to turn to Karens against the government.
Yeah, we're Karens because I don't want to wear a mask. What the fuck?
Well, that's just it. I mean,
every single fucking video there's someone wearing a mask called a Karen. Every single one of them.
The lines have become so fucking divided now that the people that used to be the supporters of one group, and I mentioned this before, but like the lesbians and the gay men and the transgenders used to be all in one category, right? You know, and they were backed up or backing the feminists. Now the feminists have turned on them. So they've even turned off their own people that supported them to get them to where they are now. So if there isn't another example of, you know, disposal of the useful idiots, I mean, there you go. You know what I mean? They've become their own entity. I mean, you can't go anywhere in the world, mention the word feminist, and not have the person know who or what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They might have a skewed version,
definitely.
but they know what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, some countries are freaking. The politicians are running as I think it's South Korea. The new prime minister ran his entire campaign as an anti-feminist.
Yeah,
and he won.
It's dangerous.
Because it's such a danger to
society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the democracy.
Yeah, it's a danger to everything, because all of these ideals, right? All they're there to do is indoctrinate the rest of the population. That's it.
Right.
That's why governments generally back them. Bad governments, dictators back them.
Yep.
Because they like to use it. anywhere where they don't already own guns.
Yeah,
But
that
hey,
is true.
we are just past 1 hour, guys, and when we were speaking about money, if you feel like donating, I appreciate all the shills you can give me in the PayPal there. That'd be great.
The
Not a
shekels.
not a necessity, just an
Yeah.
afterthought. I appreciate you guys all coming no matter what. So, gentlemen, on that note, what do you think the outcomes are going to be here? Predictions?
Chaos.
Yep.
Thank God.
You know,
Chaos, chaos,
there-
and collapse.
Yeah.
there's one more factory in US that was it a poultry that burned down.
Yes.
So 19 food processing plants have been axed
Yep.
all of a sudden.
All of a
Right.
sudden.
Yeah.
But hey, the upside is they killed a lot of the poultry at the farms before they got to the processing plants.
Well, you have to do it humanely. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
burn the animals alive.
That's right. That's right. I mean,
Yeah,
know,
I know
you
that
gotta-
sounds
you gotta-
horrible.
you gotta
babies are fine.
slit the throat and grind them in machines. Yeah.
Yeah, babies are fine to kill, but not animals. You know, save
It-
the ducks. Shit. Yeah, but fuck the babies. I
No,
mean,
but it's definitely coming to, and I think it's the only way to set the pendulum swinging back to logic and reason. The
Yeah.
only way forward is collapse. It's that's the only way out of this insanity that I see. Because
Yeah.
once the lights go out and there's no more daddy government there backing up this insanity at the point of a gun, then the feminism ends. Then the 75 genders ends.
Yep.
It all comes to a screeching halt.
Yeah,
Well-
they haven't got a
Maybe.
foot to stand on because who are those that enable their behavior and the money that
Klaus Schwab.
they have
Yeah.
to use? It is men.
yeah. Well, your money's
So-
not worth a goddamn thing if there's nothing to back it up.
That's right.
As I've stated before, you can take all the paper currency you want, drop it
Yeah.
at the feet of somebody with a bag of potatoes, and if they're fucking all starving, your dollar bills ain't gonna add up to fuck all to that bag of potatoes.
But
Right.
you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it realistically, because like it's all right saying it's gonna collapse, but if you don't get rid of the people who are causing it, then it's never gonna get removed. So that's Klaus Schwab. But
Yeah.
who is he? Who is he controlling? So then that's obviously the local institutions who our governments rely on. So we have to overthrow our governments to and then install people, have people of influence that want nothing to do with these psychopaths. And I think that's too, in my opinion, I think it's too much hoping. I think it's a lot harder task that we actually think it is.
Not at all.
Oh, no, I
And-
agree.
And
All you have to
especially,
do-
if we wait long enough, then they've got AI and robots. So we've got a very short window here.
all you
very
have
short.
to do, Manly, is support your local Emperor of Freedom, buddy. Okay, because we
You're
put
not
an
my
in-
local one, my brother.
It doesn't matter. Across the ocean, we accept you as a brother, no matter what, no matter where you are, no matter the color of your
Oh,
skin.
what do you call it? I'll be an infidel.
No.
But see, Chris, what you just said there is also why they don't like men like us
No,
going
because
our own way, because
we
we
unite.
unite.
That's
We
right.
are
Mhm.
every race, every age bracket, and it's a glorious thing. But they're very nervous about it. I mean, you're seeing more and more articles about guys like us.
Dude, when we unite, they fucking fall.
Yes,
Right? All we have to do is stand up. The more of us that stand up and say enough's enough, knows your fucking answer, go fuck
Yeah.
yourself. Come put a bullet in me if you got to. Don't worry. There'll be 10 people that'll see what you do. And, we call them martyrs. Unfortunately, they still have to die for the cause. But, 10 more people will see and say, well, this isn't right. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
We got to
need the
stop
right.
supporting
You need
this.
the right people, because you need at least a couple of leaders. Because without the leaders, and I mean tactically minded, military minded, because without them, you won't be able to arrange against their military. Because say the police side with us, they'll bring in foreign armies.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
That's
mean,
what
they're
they'll.
gonna.
That's what they'll. The UN, they'll bring the UN in. You know
Okay,
what they've
but
done for China and shit.
look at. You're right. To take them head on is pointless. I would never send my army head on with the army of the enemy, because if I've only got 100 bad motherfuckers, I am not going to send them at 300,000 men.
It's got to be some
Especially
covert shit, yeah, man.
It'll
guerrilla
be like it was in
tactics,
Colombia.
asymmetrical warfare. You don't attack what's strong, you attack everything else. It's not about hitting the strong targets, it's about hitting soft targets.
I would actually argue that, because we live in a society where they know we're not even looking. There's only a handful of people looking at the real targets.
Yeah,
So I think they're actually easier to target than what we think they are. It's just people are not looking at them. People are not even looking. Like TV stations, how easy are they to take out? Phone stands.
I have a prime mark
easy.
of war right there. Father Saunders. But yeah, you're right.
Butthole Nation.
Yeah, Butthole Nation. Butthole Army. But
you get about 10 militias around the country and take around media stands and TV airwaves.
Power.
You'd be able to project, yeah.
Cut off the power. Where everybody's in the dark. Cut off the fuel. Fuel's already in fucking short supply. Right?
Yeah.
Blow the bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Start making things
you want a
difficult.
perfect example of how fast things can go to pot? Look at Sri Lanka.
Yeah. There's a prime example.
Well, look at the UK at the oil strikes in the 90s. I mean, the truckers started backing up the entrances to the oil the depots, and the country was in chaos for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I mean, and after the release, it was in chaos for weeks afterwards, for recovering still.
Well, we're in a shortage right now, right? Let's say, like I said, tomorrow we snap our fingers and everything goes back into full swing, right? We stop fucking slaughtering poultry and digging up farms and burning their crops or whatever the case may be, and everything goes back into full swing. It won't normalize until about November. It will take that long to normalize again. That will be to restock the shelves with everything from Tylenol to fucking baby formula. It will take till November. Right now, if we change that tomorrow, the further we go down the. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I can tell you who's going to work overtime.
Us.
Hammerhand.
Hammerhand.
Yeah, definitely. What did you say, Eric?
Oh, I didn't say anything. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, just fun. Just messing with them.
No, and as what you were saying, Eric, about things going bad, right? I mean, we spoke about it today about the police not being obligated to fucking serve and protect anyone outside of the government itself, right? We spoke on that at length, and they admit to it. They're not there to protect the general population. They're there to uphold the government standards.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, I can tell you, like, where I worked, it was just basically your job was to contain it. Now, other precincts, like in the more of the hoity-toity areas, like the 6th precinct in Greenwich Village, a lot of your Manhattan South or Brooklyn South precincts, you got the creme de la creme guys, like, guys who were really looked the part. They had all the best cars, all the best equipments. They had radios that worked. We were in the hardcore ghetto. Our radios stunk. Our cars were crap. I mean, every car we had was, had duct tape in it. Like, it was horrendous. So, like you were saying, like, you could tell the areas that they care about. So, like, I witnessed it firsthand. So yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah, and they all had a favoritism system,
Yeah.
right? Where you would treat these people different than you would treat those people. And if they got picked up or one of their kids got picked up, I mean, it was only a phone call and fucking you had to let them out. So the law ain't worth fuck all, really. These laws are just in place to fucking keep us essentially, they're in place for us to police ourselves, right? We follow certain laws. And as I've stated about the laws of nature, yes, I believe in the laws of nature. I believe in the the 10 commandments. I think these are great laws. We don't
Most,
need much outside of that.
most laws are not real law, because as we've spoken before, there's natural law. But
Yeah.
these laws we're speaking about right now, they're actually money-making schemes.
That too.
Because what happens is they look at society and they look at the behaviours and they go, what can we earn money off? Bad behaviour. Oh, dropping litter. Let's charge people for dropping litter. Let's charge people for dropping cigarette butts. Let's charge people for driving.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there's a reason
So-
why on the highways around here there are so many police cars parked on the fucking side of the road and in little fucking entrances and stuff that you can't quite see them because of trees and whatnot in the way. Yet crime in the nearby towns is running fucking rampant. Like you can literally drive on the fucking highway, see 4 cop cars, go into the town that's about 10 kilometers away, and watch people fucking breaking into buildings in broad daylight.
We've got a interesting sort of like a paradox debate currently going on in the UK driving laws. So it is now it's always been an offence to obstruct officers from doing their duties. But if you're, I don't know if you have this over in the States and wherever it is, whoever people are listening from, we've got a little bit of a culture here in the UK where if you see a mobile speed trap, drivers may flash
Yeah.
other drivers to kind of give
Yep.
them a heads up.
Yeah.
We do that here too.
Little honk horn. Well, you can be prosecuted for that now.
Yes.
Really? You can be prosecuted for warning people.
Their claim is because you are preventing the officer, apparently, prefaces, from doing their job, really from obtaining penalty fines and money from
Yeah.
Yeah.
people breaking the
Don't
speed.
want to increase the money income.
Where
Yeah, so-
it becomes a dilemma or a paradox is because the whole point of these mobile speed traps and speed cameras in general is to reduce car accidents. and
They
fatalities.
say.
You know, well, the idea, well, on paper, you know, this is we have these rules that you maintain a particular speed because speed is dangerous and kills people. So
Yeah.
Absolutely.
of health and safety. So this is what the idea is. So it's like, so if you've got drivers who are warning other drivers to now slow down, are they not doing what is the objective? Are they not helping police in a way bring accident rates down? So
Yeah, because those people are
maybe
slowing down.
for doing so. Yeah,
Well,
but
and by the police officer there as well, they're holding up traffic. One of the main causes of congestions is people slowing down and braking.
Yeah.
So them slowing down and braking to get ahead. So, but and then even if they see the copper, them still going to brake once they see the copper, and that's going to cause more, you know, because they'll be braking suddenly rather than being
Right.
warned.
It causes
pre-warned.
congestion.
Yeah. Less.
Well-
Ironically, by the policeman being there, he's probably causing more crashes and congestion.
And more frustration that goes along with it, which generally leads to somebody stepping on the gas who, you know, can then lose control of their vehicle and cause a bigger accident.
I think, are you confused, Manny? Are you confusing like where they pull over vehicles to do checks
No.
compared to
No.
You know, they don't normally, like when you've got a speed gun or a mobile.
No, they'll chase you and hound
they're
you
not-
down for that.
They're not really slowing down traffic. You know,
Are,
and that
Ge-
would-
Gentlemen,
are any of you guys familiar with the Suffolk County Police in New York?
I've heard of it, but I don't know why.
Okay. Well, we had a county executive get elected, and there was like an uptick in crime. and this goes back to what you were saying, Chris, how like you saw more cops on the highways and there was higher crime in in the towns and in the in like the bigger towns.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it just goes to show you like the greed of some of these departments. So what this new county executive did, his name was Steve Levy. What he did was Suffolk County has the Suffolk County Police Department, but they also have the Suffolk County Sheriff's Department, which basically handle like transporting prisoners from the Riverhead Jail, county jails, Yaphank and whatnot to court, to big boy jail upstate New York. So what he did was he took some of the sheriffs and put them on the highways in Suffolk County, and took the Suffolk County Highway Patrol and had them start patrolling, to get the crime down. Because rather than hire a whole bunch of new cops, because the budget was, constrained, what he did was he utilized the manpower that he had, and thought he was taking care of business that way.
Mm-hmm.
These bastards had the balls to sue, and they won in court to get their jobs back on the highway, because they were making tons of overtime. One guy made like $700,000 in like 1 year with overtime and whatnot, because he was just basically living in the precinct. So, and the odd thing was that the Suffolk County sheriffs, they didn't even fight it. They just went along with it, and they just backed down. If I said if that was my union, I never would have reelected anyone in that union for not fighting. But you have to remember, some of these departments, that they're so greedy with the overtime and what they can make for their employees that that's part of the problem too.
Oh yeah, well, the corruption in the office themselves. I mean, you've mentioned that a few times, right?
Yes.
The whole go forth and harass the public was no joke. I mean, like I stated to you earlier, you coming on and confirming these things is a huge help. You know what I mean?
Oh, that goes back to those street crime morons.
Yeah, that too. Those guys were fucking hilarious in a sad way, because I mean, they ruined a lot of fucking people's lives just to say they were fucking doing their job, right?
Yeah.
Justification of your job, just like the social workers. We have to justify us being here. We have to justify the extra funding from the federal government. Get out and fucking get those numbers up. You know what I mean? It's a business.
You have to remember, like some of these departments, that they're not motivated to fight crime. They're motivated by, what they can get in OT, what they can get for themselves, get that pension nice and high.
Yeah.
You have to remember, a lot of these guys, they don't look at the job as, I want to make a difference. They look at the job as, what can I make?
Yeah. Yeah. What were you told when you went in and, with the idea of
they beat that right out of us.
Yeah.
They beat that right out of us.
I'm here to help my community and serve my country.
Yeah. No, you're not.
No, you're here to serve our government. Get the fuck on it. And our interest. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? It's sad, but I know you have to take off, brother, and I do appreciate you coming on as always. And
thank you for having me. It was nice chatting with everybody. I hope I helped.
Yeah, you do, man. Every time. So,
I'll be back later, but I got to jump out for a while.
All right, brother. Well, thank you, Eric, for coming, and everybody in the chat.
Everybody have a great night.
You too, Eric.
You too, man.
Thank you, man. Before we go on any further, guys, is there any closing topics or points you'd like to make on these topics? Because I kind of want to move on to a little bit of a side thing. Now that we've kind of gone through the meat and potatoes, I want to kind of post a couple of videos that I'm sure we have all seen, right? And, well, one video I know we've all seen, which comes back to this whole conditioning of the population.
It's not the Jack Murphy video, is it?
No, it's not Jack Murphy. There's no Jack Murphy, but it's one that our good buddy Chronic covered there the other day, and I thought he did an excellent job. Unfortunately, I can't find the unedited version, like the direct version that they found. I'm not a tech guy, but I did find a news channel that was covering it, and I thought it was hilarious because this is from Sky News Australia, who are
Oh,
generally a bit more right leaning, but you can hear the leftists come out of this woman. You can
oh yeah.
hear the feminists come out of her. But any closing thoughts on the, I guess, the indoctrination and self enslavement you guys would like to add
No.
in?
Well, one thing, the last comment you was talking about the police is that you actually pay taxes for them to do that, so you're paying their wages for them to do it.
Yeah, you're
They're
paying them to
ironic about-
harass you.
yeah.
It's a
So I
perfect
just wanted
business
to,
system.
and I just wanted to end on that. We're paying for them to do it.
Dude, it's a perfect business system. It's a perfect
Mhm.
strategy. If you were to go into business, right, and say you could pick any business that you can think of, a government, a government official gets paid by the people he enslaves. And whenever they do something, whether it be interacting with other businesses or making purchases, you collect revenue off of that as well in taxes. Like, it's fucking beautiful. Perfect.
Mhm.
I couldn't think of anything better. And when you have a slave population that is literally there putting the collar on themselves, holy fuck.
And you
You're
know what?
you're past
Sorry,
perfect.
sorry to interrupt there, but
No,
I
go
just
ahead.
thought that they're paying tax on that as well. So they're paying tax on their tax. Oh, it's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah,
We
got Mr.
all have
Clinton
to
here.
learn to see to raise our right arms and seek Heil.
Yeah, yeah. Dude,
Some
like I
are
said,
more.
we've changed out that though, Bachelor, with essentially different colored hair, right?
Yeah,
Weird body augmentations and face diapers.
Lip
That
injections.
lip
Lollipop
injections, yeah.
injections, yeah.
Yeah, there's no
Brazilian butt lift.
yeah, there's no problem in identifying who's on your side, like that woman stated and Eric mentioned, there's no problem in identifying who the enemy is. And unfortunately, like I stated before, even in war, when you're when they were bombing factories that had a slave labor force, it's not because they wanted to bomb the slaves. They had to. You know what I
Yep.
mean? To take out the war machine that the
The
slaves were
production.
inside of. Yeah, to take out the production, they had to kill the people inside. Unfortunately, the building itself wouldn't just fall apart, and bombs don't discriminate, right?
Do you know why the Mrs. Smith 162 went that's the people's fighter.
Right? The Messerschmitt, yeah.
Yeah, the emergency fighter that they made. It was not glued in, good enough, so that the wings just it tore the wings off in midair. It was because the ones that made the glue was pissing in it,
Nice.
Oh, fucking.
Nice.
and
No
that,
way.
that happened even in the V2 um, workshops.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So
people did.
they could forget some metal things in it. So yeah, that could could do something about it. That's one of the reasons why the moon landing was a success for US and not Moskva,
Mm. Well,
because
I
they had
mean,
the N1 lunar module.
you have to
Uh,
think about it, man. Like, the people that were put in those situations to build these things as a slave workforce. I mean, they couldn't openly rebel, and I mean, they knew that they had to do something to stick it back to them, right? They were cornered and caged animals that were wounded, and they attacked at anything they could without losing their lives. I mean, pissing in glue, if that's one way to do it, then that's one way to do it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Sabotaging the factories that they worked in, if they could, they would have,
yeah,
right? Sometimes they were found out. And a lot of times, I mean, we've all seen it in movies and stuff, and history recordings, where if something went wrong, they would march the whole group out and be like, "We're going to start shooting people.
Yep.
We don't care, but somebody better confess, or we're just going to start shooting anyway."
They did that with a someone who was in in the resistance, and they took out the entire male population of that group.
Yep.
And yeah, and they have actually made the movie about it. It's called Hvidstengruppen.
Oh my God, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that.
Uh,
you have to find us a link to that one.
Okay, well, it's actually in two parts. The last one is the one that are left behind, daughters, wives. Yeah, the yeah,
Well, I mean, we've seen the photos of entire villages that all committed suicide rather than go under the Nazi regime. It's in our history books that men, women, and children threw themselves from walls and mountains rather than fucking face Genghis Khan.
Yep.
You know what I mean? At some point you have to say enough is enough, and I rather than become a part of that machine that's here to fucking enslave us, will, well, essentially suicide bomb out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Allah Akbar.
And then a snack bar, yes.
Yeah.
Link. I've posted a link in the. It's about them, but not the movie, but nevertheless.
Yeah. Well, Billy, any final thoughts?
No.
None?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Not unless you want to get further into the sort of psychology of why things like this happen.
Well, let's get through these couple videos that I have, and then we're probably going to open up the channel to the chat. So let me start off by figuring out how to fucking share things.
Yeah.
And we'll start right here with Sky News Australia. Oh, this is a peach she is. At least she used to be. Now she's clearly, her feminism is coming through. So
Yeah.
I'll play this one for you.
Another sign that our civilization is in serious decline.
Oh yeah.
This
Just a
footage
bit.
from the subway in New York City, where a man in the white jacket and black.
See,
Yeah.
First mistake. This is a transgender woman. That has been confirmed.
Yep.
How dare she? Rude bitch.
A tranny.
Yes, this is a
A-
tranny. Yeah, transformer.
Transformer.
Yes. So shame on her. Maybe we
Yeah.
should sue Sky News Australia. But we've
Fuck
all
God.
seen this clip, and it really, really points out how not only the conditioning has worked, but the people that are sick and tired of this conditioning and it coming back to bite them in the ass because the laws are so fucked up, especially against men. Like, I'm pretty sure this strapping lad right here could have fucking chewed that chick up, he, for dinner.
Just for the record, I haven't seen this clip, so I don't know.
Okay.
Billy, you're in for a treat, brother.
Yeah.
Tranny,
Roll it.
You're in for a
tranny
fucking treat.
tyranny on the train.
Yeah, you heard about the rape a few months ago, right? Where a dude
yes, I
raped
heard
a
about
woman
rape,
yeah, and everybody just stood there. This is 2.0, but no rape. However, this transgender stunning and brave individual could have just sawed her head off too. I mean, that could have happened. Nobody would have done shit, but
Nope.
we'll watch.
Leggings is rampaging on a train. Looks like there are plenty
Rampaging?
of able-bodied men around watching. He targets a woman, sits next to her, and begins to assault her. What do you think happened next? Did the men on the train step in and protect this woman from a violent thug? Did someone...
What's wrong with the fat bitch back here?
Yeah. Why
Where's
didn't
the
she?
strong, independent woman that don't need no man? Why men? What's wrong with her? Look at the legs on that woman. She works out. Get over there. Save your sister from your new sister.
I want to know if she can swim.
She floats.
She might float. I mean, she doesn't look like she's
Sinks.
got the chesticle equipment for floating, but look at those legs. Thunder thighs. I don't know what's wrong with these people, but continue on.
New Yorkers.
Did someone bother yelling at him to stop to show there was more of them than him? Well, no. The cowards watched as the terrified woman begged for help.
This guy didn't even turn around.
Cowards. Fucking cowards.
Oh, help me. You see this dude? He didn't even turn around. This is what you voted for, people. Kill feminism. I think this dude is
The
praying,
victim
right?
here isn't even doing much to help herself either.
No, well, she knows he could saw her head off, pull out a knife, and fucking cut her head off real quick. Watch this. See? Bitches just need to be led.
You saw her there say, "Somebody, please help me." But nobody stepped in. Nobody was interested beyond filming the ordeal.
What's wrong with
Now,
her?
thankfully, that woman was okay, and the assault did not end in her being grievously injured. The maniac went on to kick windows and terrify more passengers. But what does it say about society that not a single man stepped in to help? They allowed
Stunning
it
and
to
brave
happen.
women should
Where
not
have
be
all the good
stopped.
Samaritans gone? Where have all the men gone? Perhaps folks on the subway are too distracted with all the signage on the trains to worry about an innocent woman being terrorised. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. What you see here is a sign on a New York City train telling addicts not to be ashamed about their drug habit, but be empowered by it. Opiate addiction is apparently empowering now. Meanwhile, the governor is focusing on the really important stuff like genderless driver's licenses. Yesterday, New York governor posted this saying, "New Yorkers, you can now choose X as a gender marker on your driver's license. Every person deserves to have an identity document that reflects who they are." I'm not quite sure who X reflects.
What about if that transgender, now stunning and brave woman identified as an abusive transgender, stunning and brave woman? What about their rights? Wait, what? What do you think? I mean, I think she's very, very biased and possibly homophobic or whatever the case may be. Transphobic. This woman's very transphobic. Wouldn't you agree?
It's cringe actually, because
Sorry,
she wants men to jump in, but we are modern times,
yeah.
are we not? So
Well,
stunning and brave, and women can do all themselves. So go for it. Come
yeah, I
on.
mean, as I said, there is a huge strapping guy over there in the corner, right?
Yep.
I personally think that just his presence being there is far too toxic and far too masculine to even be on a train with people of decent nature and, transphobic, to be there. I think he should have been removed from the train altogether. Personally.
But then it is Australia. It's cocked like shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Australia
Doug
is one of
Murphy
the most.
would be his second home.
Yeah. He would be praised. Fuck, they build a statue in his honor. So what's her problem? This woman is a bigot. Right there. She's bigot.
Identifies as X, but it's easier to make incoherent pronouncements than tackle a substantive issue like soaring crime on the subway and in the city in general, where the crime rate is up 60%, according to government data released in March. Murders are up, rape cases have surged, as have robberies. And the crime wave didn't just start this year. The surge began in 2020, and yet the governor and mayor would rather grandstand about far-left talking points than tackling crime.
Why would they want to tackle crime? No crime was committed. All I saw was a stunning and brave individual expressing themselves and people doing their best to not be toxic masculinity, fucking women hating people. That's all I saw there. I personally think that new transgender woman should get a statue as well. Totally. So yeah, that's society for you. The new society that they voted for. And Eric loves to come on and say that. Unfortunately, he had to go, but he loves to say it. That's what they voted for. And he's right. That's what they fucking voted for. You wanted it, here it is. Personally, I wish I had footage of the chick that got raped on the train because I'd like to know just how many people stood by. Because I think they all deserve some kind of letter of recognition for,
Go,
being,
go. Yeah.
being stunning and brave enough to stay out of that person's way.
They should measure his slong. Is it long enough? 4 inches? That's not enough.
That's not enough.
No,
Oh.
they need more.
Well, I got part of another one that's from our good buddy over at Casual Bachelor, who posted a video today that was I don't want to play it all because it's quite long, but I want to play a little bit because it's very specific, and it really, really shows just how we got here and why guys are like, you know what, go fuck your hat. You're on your
That's fine.
own. You're on your own. But, yep. See you later, bitches. You're on your own. Fuck right off. But this last part, this is a Twitch thought, I'm assuming, because she has all the gear. Possibly, OnlyFans model. I think he said she's like 24. So, the perfect age for the representation of all women out there. But how she talks about men in society and what their purpose is really kind of drives it home.
She
You know
looks
what I
like
mean?
Vinci.
She looks like what?
Vinci.
Who's that?
One that Chronic is having a crush on. He's always talking about her big tatas.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if
Brittany.
I don't know if she has the greatest tatas. I personally think she's kind of ugly, but
Hey, when rocks his boat rocks it.
I'm working on my racism, and I'm pretty sure she's like a dark chick, and I'm not into that. I'm just not into it. Sorry. It's just not my thing, man. But she's gonna make some good statements here on exactly why why we need to go our own way. And it's beautiful. So I'm just gonna play this.
And part of me thinks, why am I paying for other people to make mistakes? This is just insanity.
They just think that, they can go around ruining women's lives and not pay for it. Like, no, that's why women take your money in court. Like, there's consequences for your actions.
I don't know if her misspeaking is on purpose.
And I think that Nick
she does it the whole
want to realize
whole video.
that reality. So they really
Actually, I think quite the opposite. I always say you reap what you sow. That is exactly what it is. If you're 500 pounds, guess what? It's because you're being lazy and eating a bunch of crap. I mean, they have to create ridiculous straw men in order to validate their own ridiculous worldview.
really need a wake-up call to their role in the beehive and need to realize that the M in ATM stands for male. Men are walking ATM machines, and they should have.
I like how she brought out the beehive because it is true. It's her own words, beehive, the hive mind. Get in line. There's the queen bee, right? Within the beehive is the why do you think they've got the hive mind? Because that's where the queen bee is.
Happily and readily dispense money for women's. So stop being on your little gossiping forum being like, women take my money. When I go to an ATM machine,
Oh, of course, we got a fucking ad. Sorry, guys. I thought I skipped through all these and they would stay away.
Does it? And I enter my PIN to withdraw my money. Does it cry? No. So why should the men be crying when they're walking ATM machines?
You know, ironically, let's say we play into that. We are just the ATM machine.
I personally don't think she could have said it better. But apparently quite a few people have seen this, and that's really the best part of it. She quite clearly points out what we are, and we will definitely, if you guys haven't checked that out, please go check it out on Better Bachelor's channel, because it is worth watching to the end. Like, to just get the full concept of what he's talking about and what she's talking about, totally worth watching.
Wasn't it casual?
What's that? Yeah, no, basically she is a vortex for money, and you know, that's all us guys are here to do, is to give them money. Totally. I totally feel that way. Don't you feel that way?
That's a real one. She's a walking sink dumpster. Yeah.
You know what, Ape? If she was taking the zinc, I'd say that she'd at least have a justification for getting paid for it, because I believe all services, including taking zinc shots, is work. You know what I mean? Here's the thing, though. That's not the case with most of these fucking Twitch thoughts or trad thoughts. They're not taking zinc. They want your money for nothing. And as you can see from this young 24-year-old, this is like a cancer that has spread from 16 to 60. They all believe the same fucking thing. It's just now they are open and free to say it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what they bring. Doesn't matter what they offer. Doesn't matter what you get. Just give them your hard-earned money. Just, guys, that's your purpose. Remember, ATM. M is for man. Give.
Now look at Sean P. 71. That's yeah.
Sean P. 71.
Yep. What he says. That's the nail on the head.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely the nail on the head. Absolutely. Yes, her queen bee syndrome is fucking definitely showing here, guys. But then again, if I don't know where that original post is, but I'm pretty sure if we were to go look at it, it would have at least 10 to 20,000 upvotes or likes compared to dislikes. You know it. You know it.
Yeah. Simboids.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but every chick that sees it is going to upvote it, because they all believe that. They giggle in the back of their minds and say, you know, oh, I only wish I could do that and get away with it. But you know they all can. Right?
I'd give her money.
Yeah, to take the zinc shot.
No, I was going to try and trigger all of you.
Oh.
Failed. Never mind. No, she's very obnoxious, very delusional, and the way she talk, that kind of reels, it's just pretty irritating.
Well, dude, the whole video, she mispronounces things like, I'm assuming it's on purpose. At least I'm hoping it's on purpose. I'm hoping her vocabulary is not that bad that she can't speak properly. At the start of it, of course, she just called us all gay because, like I said, the feminists have turned against their gay allies. So what do you do? I think it's personally hilarious. It's nice to see them eat each other, you know, and that's exactly what's going on.
In a way, I think she's a reflection of the product of the privileged society she's been brought up in.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
The only thing that you need, the only thing you need to do is sit or lean back in your seat and sip on your meat and take in some popcorn and watch the show unfold.
Yeah. Well, that's probably what you're doing, but you better be sending her money to do that too.
No, I'd rather send some shekels to you.
Well,
And
you can do that. PayPal link is up in the comment box, guys. If you don't mind, I appreciate it. I really do. But let's open up the chat.
That would really maybe we should do more public displays of that, because that would really annoy the women to see the cash flowing
To men?
from hand to hand. Yeah,
Oh my God!
between men.
If I knew a way to fake it, I would, Billy.
Almost like do it as Undead Craig is doing on he's shown his PayPal.
Yeah. Well, yes, but I mean, like, to actually, like, I have a Twitch account because I used to be a hardcore gamer, and now they're linked to my game, so it has to have it. But I would love to get on Twitch and just have like hundreds and fucking hundreds of fake fucking bots in the account or in the stream, and just have like PayPal donations or whatever the hell they use on Twitch now, just start like scrolling by without a doubt. Without a fucking doubt, if I did the exact same thing, the same way these Twitch thoughts do it, I would be fucking called out immediately. It would be a total sham, but I would be called out by them immediately. So let's welcome brother Brandon Trueblood. I'll put on my tight pajamas, guys, if you like. If I knew a way to set it up to where I could fake the content stream, right? Like the actual chat and stuff, I absolutely would.
What games did you play?
Oh, I only play one. There's only one. Only one. That's the World of Warcraft. Oh, Brandon's having some connection issues here. Brandon, are you connected there? Apparently we're having connection issues with Brandon. He must be out in the sticks still. Oh, that's too bad, buddy. Keep trying, though.
Well, he can get the cops to figure out where the best connection is. They are.
Yeah, I need more OnlyFans content. Damn it.
Yeah.
I am going to talk with Ike to see if we can get a closer done, and I think I'm going to do it with something with feet and only holes. I got to talk to Ghost though to get that logo or whatever he had. Yeah, we'll just it'll be fun.
It will be hilarious, that's for sure.
Yeah, it will be hilarious.
just the playback from that night.
That.
Yeah, holy shit.
Well, the downside is that one's a little too short, but it also has a bunch of guys laughing, because we couldn't hold it in.
No, we couldn't contain yourself.
Yeah, I think even just using the logo and be like, maybe put them together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Only holes.
Yeah.
It was solid gold. It absolutely was solid gold. Oh, Jesus. We need more moments like that, guys. So please come on in the chat and we'll see what we can get off tonight. Come on, it's Friday. We got to be ridiculous somehow. We're not even at 2 hours yet. The fuck is wrong?
I don't know.
Everybody goes shy?
Perhaps drinking some more meat, for instance.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen Indy in the chat yet. What the fuck? Have I been forsaken? Forsaken. Oh. Big toes and buttholes. That's a good one, Ape. That is a good one. Oh, that's funny. Well, anything else, guys? Any thoughts on all that ridiculousness?
Well, if you are getting the buttholes and the work around that, I think that you should be out or look out for the bearded man, because he's he's out for some buttholes, I guess. Cock Murphy.
Just give me a sec here. I got to put the little guy to bed.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, where are you? Come on. Emmanuel Load, Billy the Goat, come on. Say something.
What do you want to discuss?
I don't know. We could talk about the night that the Butthole Nation were born.
Yeah. I'm still a bit new to the Butthole Nation.
You have seen the
the flag.
the night. You have seen the movie, not the movie, the video of it. That's where we laugh our asses off.
I don't think so.
Oh, damn it! You
I've
missed.
seen the insignia.
Okay, that's insane. It's it was.
I'm
I
sure.
don't know how many guys we were with, 6 or 7, I guess. It was a group of guys who could not contain ourselves. We just laughed our asses off, really. And of course, it's Father Saunders. That was so hilarious. That's no, you cannot.
Was that
be
when he was
proud.
born?
The
burp.
Butthole Nation were born. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the night the Butthole Nation were born. That's just yeah.
Poofed into existence.
Yeah, poofed. Pooped into existence. Yeah.
Like farted into existence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
More like a
Yeah. No, but he had a finger up his bum. So
so one of
Yep.
them ones.
Sorry about that, guys.
that's okay.
Well, Brandon's still trying, but there's still no connection there.
Tell him to get a hold on the cops.
Yeah, mall cops will do.
Yeah.
Come on.
Bill the Goat haven't seen the clip where the Butthole Nation were born.
You haven't seen the clip from where the Butthole Nation was born?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I don't think so. I may have done. But
Well, it wasn't the Butthole Nation that was born on my channel. It was the Only Holes. But then I can't remember if it evolved from there or if it was
It
evolved already.
Evolved.
Let me find Ghost McDowell because he has the actual clip.
So I'm sure Good Mother was playing it at some point. So if she was playing it, then I would have seen it.
Yeah.
So I might just need a little reminder.
Okay, so let me turn the volume. All right, I can't turn the volume now. Fucking shorts. Can't turn nothing down. Can't change nothing. Yes, so this is Only Holes. So we're at the end here, but I'll start it again. Oh wait, I can't.
So this is the official video, then, is it?
Well, this is the official clip so far, but we might take one that's a little bit longer because there's quite a bit before. You know what I mean? It's just this is where I guess Ghost found that he figured it was the best way to clip it.
Hold on, it would be okay with you if I showed you my brother.
All right. Yeah. Short but sweet.
One Fast Act has the bit of a longer version that he clipped. There he is. Oh shit! God damn it! Sorry, I thought it would go further. God damn it! I can't make this work. hell was it? Oh my god, I didn't think it was this far down. I don't think it is. Jack, did you remove it from the bloody shorts list or what? Let's see, go to home. I don't know how to view all the shorts because I know that ain't it. Okay, so maybe he's removed it. I don't know. I don't know. So I might not be able to find it in here. Playlist. Nope. Community. Oh, I don't know where the longer version is now. Maybe we don't have one. Because I don't think I uploaded. I uploaded the one from Brandon's interaction with the 5.0. And yeah, we got no action there for OnlyFans. I tried though. I tried. Fuck. Jack, disappointed. I don't know where it is. Well, I think I can go to my own stream, I guess. Oh, right here. Your channel. Videos. Which one was that in? I think that was in the chill stream. If I remember right. No, maybe not. Holy Christ, I don't even know where my shit is now. Side of that. Well, either way, I'll find it and send it to you. I'll send it to you in the Discord or something. But yeah, I cannot remember where any of that stuff is. I don't even remember what stream it was in, but I thought it was one of the chill streams. Either way, it's all good. If you do find it, or if Dak can link it later on, that'd be great. Oh, any other thoughts, gentlemen? I can't seem to get anybody to join, so we might be shutting down. Jeez, just into 2 hours. Wow, disappointing.
Yeah, it's good.
That's disappointing for a Friday. We didn't even get Ape on. Nobody wants to join us tonight. Is there something going down I don't know about, guys? What's the deal here? No, Hidden's on. And McDowell Values is on. I didn't know they were going on. That's all good. It's all good, gentlemen. Anything else you want to shoot the shit about, or are you guys looking to head to bed? I know it's quite late there.
I was just going to say, people don't really want to talk about the end of society on a Friday night, maybe.
What? That's the best time to talk about it. Oh,
I agree.
the beard of MGTOW right there. What's up, brother Ape?
Oh, I'm trying to make me some dinner. I put in there, I was grabbing a bite to eat, and then I jump in.
Well, perfect. I didn't catch that one. Sorry.
Yeah. So give me about 5 minutes to wolf this down, and I'll hop back on if you're still going.
All right, brother. All right.
All right.
Thanks. See, people are willing to come talk about the end of the world on a fucking Friday. I mean, just because it's the end of the world, guys, doesn't mean you need to be depressed.
No, you can always drink yourself senseless.
Fuck, or drink yourself back 2 cents. Where's the problem? Where's the problem? There you go. Get it in you.
We'll be that what do you call it? We'll be that charming. We'll get you drinking at your butthole.
Yeah. Oh, I see Mom is streaming about Roma Army. Ooh, that fucking
Roma Army.
Oh my god, that dirty ass fucking chameleon. Oh my god. And people are still linking her shit.
It's
all
insane.
Over men's channels. Like, god damn, dude.
Father Saunders in the chat. Nice.
Who?
Father Saunders.
Speaking of the Butthole Nation.
Yep.
Where you been? Been over hanging out with Mom, haven't you?
Saw that Brazilian fart porn, I tell you.
Yeah, or you might be doing that. I don't know. Mm. Yeah, that could be possible. We never know, guys.
Raid? Hmm.
Do we want to raid Good Mother? Well, maybe. She's got an alarm for it and everything. Oh my God. I don't know who she's got on, but that voice hurt my ears.
Salty cracker on it. It won't fucking.
I try to
play.
upload content over there. It look like they charge you to upload it or some shit. I don't
You
know.
guys
I
checking
can't
that
get
out?
out of Seattle.
Yeah. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Cause I'm trying to get the hell off of YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube
me
is
too.
Oh, we missed the Roma Army
YouTube
part.
is an insane
I
asylum.
love Odyssey, but the upload speeds they just lag. They just don't have the. They don't have the servers that YouTube.
Oh, she's checking the
YouTube
chat.
has
Oh,
access
there
to.
she is. She noticed us.
Hello, Emperor. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic.
I have a bone to pick with you, sir.
Okay.
As the fucking Emperor of Canada, can you explain this crazy cunt to me, please?
What the fuck?
Me down. Oh hell. You get away with it.
Hammerhand?
Yeah.
You know, chameleons come in all.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's the Roma.
What
That's
the
Whoa.
hell?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
no.
Roma Army, yeah.
Dude,
Is that her?
she's streaming the
It's
one off
educational
Odyssey.
art.
But that's clearly not true.
Maybe I
Oops.
should not.
Yeah.
Is
That's
that
it.
her?
It's
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
her.
thanks. Thanks a lot, Ma.
That's her.
I forgot that the
train
prawn was that quick.
Yeah, that video is full
Got a
of
big dick on your screen?
Roma Army
Yep.
porn. So that one's on Odyssey. So if
you
you want
just
to
got
find,
tangled.
yeah, if you guys want to find
Let
the
me guess, that
original
was
one,
Hammerhand's channel, right?
Yeah.
if you want to find the original one
I'm
that's
gonna keep playing the audio though because
PG rated, it's
There's
on
a
YouTube.
character for you.
So here's the question: am I going to get sniped, and is she going to get sniped at the same time?
Probably her first.
YouTube's going to fucking crack us both.
To do whatever it is that they do, it exposes a much deeper problem with men that needs to be talked about today.
Yeah, you'd have to private this one, otherwise you'll get striked.
Well, it's already set for not for children.
Another fella that was on
I can't. Hey, I'm just streaming somebody else's stream. I can't control what they put on there.
Nope.
This is educational.
became a big town man. And you can still see some of his stuff. It's up. I believe that it is. But Mike, myself,
Stop it. Stop it.
coined the term
Stop it.
chameleon.
Stop what?
Stop. Pause. Hit pause. Okay, I'm gonna be very, very, very frank with all of you. Mike is not a MGTOW monk. Okay, to be monk, you must be celibate monk. Okay, all right. Let me make that very fucking clear. Okay, me and the fake MGTOW monk have locked horns in the past for him encouraging men to commit young MGTOW to commit, criminal activity, get involved in criminal mischief, to get, possibly arrested and bad marks on their criminal records, which would fuck up their lives and military careers. Okay. This is what he was preaching when he came into my community. Hammerhand, no different. Same thing. Okay. I do not endorse any of these two idiots. If you want to follow them, hey, that's on you. But if they get you,
That's not a good way to start.
Nope.
Gonna bash the hammer.
I think that guy is going on or being raided by the war band.
Yep, he could be next. This could be it.
Somebody wake up the war band.
Yep. Somebody call, or sorry, PayPal /me.
Next on my
I can't even remember the rest.
I hope you like that. Her
Look how long this shit's
grilling her cocksucker video.
Looking good there, yo hippie.
But yeah, if you want to check out the PG rated version, it is up on Odyssey, and you get to see all of the Roma Army, you know, pro fucking. Well, I guess on YouTube she's a pro MLA, but everywhere else, yeah, she just used that
Yeah.
entire platform to fucking suck men over to her OnlyFans.
I actually did a reaction video to one of her MRA on the supporting of men's rights video. It's actually out on MGTOW.tv. So I've actually done it, yeah. Myself. Not as extensive as Hammerhand, but yeah.
Yeah, no, Hammerhand doesn't mind putting the bitch on blast, and everybody should. But like I
No.
said, in these men groups that I, frequently I am on with like Facebook and stuff, they fucking post her shit all the time, man. All the fucking time. It's like you're posting shit from people who are known fucking, grifters. They don't give a fuck about what they're saying. They're just trying to suck guys in to take them for what they're worth. And you're still promoting them. Like, stop. We've had dozens of people on these websites or these Facebook pages tell them, look, stop shilling for this person. They're fucking users. It's gotten to the point we're starting to wonder if maybe like these aren't the people behind these pages, right? Like, holy fuck, it seems to be all they do, man. PUAs and fucking chameleons constantly. It's like, god damn. What are you gonna do? It's to the point where they're losing traffic.
Borderline.
What's that, brother?
She's got a diagnosis of borderline.
Who's that?
Roma Army.
Diagnosis of borderline? Yeah. I would take it further than that. Like, have you ever seen some of her other stuff where she's like insulting people in the drive-through and shit like that? I think actually Hammerhand does post a clip somewhere about it.
Well, this is what's kind of concerning is because if she's got such a fan base or people are promoting her stuff, I mean, they're fundamentally promoting someone who's got borderline.
Yeah.
Now, is that exactly a good idea? Not in my opinion.
It depends which side you're on. If you're on the other side, it's the perfect tool to use. Chameleons, bulbing all male money.
Yeah.
And attention, and have a warped sense of justice.
Well, it's not even
or attract unhealthy people.
I just don't get it. Like she put up like dozens and dozens of videos, right, promoting the whole pro MLA stuff, and here she is living the completely different lifestyle, and she thought like fucking people wouldn't find out. But then again, I guess it didn't matter, right?
Because as floating on OnlyFans.
Yeah, well, I mean, as Hammerhand stated, like she's got over 800,000 followers on her pro man stuff on YouTube.
Fuck, he's got that big now. Jesus.
Yeah, and she's a fucking chameleon. Like, god damn.
And she's not even that good looking either. She looks like a demon.
It's not just a chameleon. It's someone who's like, it's a Venus flytrap because what she's doing is suckering people into her web or her trap.
Yeah. What is her YouTube handle?
Of it, where she's
Roma Army.
She's going to use her seduction and things like this and talking points to like essentially love bomb people and make them think that she's dynamite.
Yeah, and then they follow her over to fucking OnlyFans. Brother Brandon, you got a connection?
Yeah, I had to relocate towns.
Wow.
Is the cops around?
No cops.
No ambulance chasing.
Not yet, anyways. No, if I sit here long enough, I'm a stationary target.
Yeah.
Well, we'll try to keep you there just long enough to get your cavity searched. and
Thanks,
seriously, guys, we will be going to full screen for that, and YouTube can kick me off later. She makes 10 grand a month on only holes. Like, yeah,
Damn.
yeah, she's
Only
total,
holes.
yeah, total fucking chameleon. And unfortunately, you know, I can't disagree with all the comments here that Maddie was saying about, you know, these men that go into these channels, you know, and they think they're supporting someone who supports them, and yet they still get sucked into these OnlyFans channels. You know what I mean?
Well, she's got that tattooed heroin addict boyfriend.
Yep. So she's sucking something, but not those
Making
guys.
she's making the porn with that guy.
It's a little bit tied to the original topic of this live stream, where it's like you're asking about how do people become slaves, and like unaware, mindless zombies, and they sign up on things. Well, here you go. Here's an example of how it's done.
Hang on.
There's a million ways of, or a billion ways to make you a zombie. This is one of the reasons why.
Well, there's something I hadn't heard you guys touch on, and that is, you know how they started back in the 1980s giving out participation trophies.
Oh, yeah.
Where you didn't have to win, everybody was great. Anything you do, you're always going to be rewarded. You know, and that started to subtly change the mindset of people. Because I remember when they first started doing that, me and the other fathers were like, fuck that, we're keeping score.
Check this out. Oh, fuck. I fucked up and I clicked on a video. I meant to just look at it.
How racist of Brandon.
876,000 subs.
Because she's got a pair of tits and a fucking cellulite covered fucking ass.
Yep.
And pretty darn good used hole, because he's already pushed
that thing's
a
fucking
rock
wore
rat out.
out.
Yeah.
She had pushed a rock rat out. So
this
I think Johnny Depp would have said she was a used up fish market.
Yeah. Think Before You Sleep did an excellent video on it, and if you guys, I'm sure if you're not subscribed to him, you should go check him out. He's got great stuff. But he goes on the whole chameleon thing, and yeah, he pointed her out years ago. I mean, like I said, I don't have connections to fucking OnlyFans or the latest fucking, you know, Twitch thought personality or anything like that. I just kind of get like back information from the other channels.
I'm shocked.
And yeah, like, dude, like the fucking goddamn, like even if you aren't, if you're just like myself, she was called out fucking years ago.
Yep.
Years ago. And their channel's still growing.
Red flag number 1. Single mom.
Yeah.
Red flag number 2. Multiple tattoos. Red flag number 3. Shows herself naked. You know, she's not a men's advocate.
No. Not even close. And like I said, these guys that are still posting up their channels or their videos in excuse me, like father's rights channels and shit like that. It's like, what the fuck?
She has a sympathetic voice, and these, you know, these guys are so thirsty for female attention that if you post some, you know, a $5 or whatever donation and she says your name, that, you know, that's like having a real woman talk to you.
Is it?
Well, no, not really, but to those guys it is.
Oh, delusional.
Yeah, some sort of fucking strange delusion, man. What can I say? I don't understand it at all. I mean, Sorry, go ahead.
So it's a third generation, second or third generation of single boys, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you got all these boys without the right father model, and they've been raised by women. So what's better than a woman to tell them how to be a man?
Yeah.
You know, because how many good mothers are out there? No one. So obviously, someone you don't really know someone until you live with them. So someone just having a face um, on the YouTube or on the screen can easily appeal to all these kids that want this role model who have already been raised by women.
Yeah.
So they're just carrying on that trend, and it's fulfilling that masculine need, which
Yeah.
their mothers hasn't filled.
Well, not only that, but I mean, with the vacuum of, you know, I guess pair bonding between young men and women. You know what I mean? Like right now, we have more young men in their fucking mid-20s that are virgins because they're not good enough for anybody. That when they finally do get some kind of a female attention, you know, they obviously like it because it's in our nature to like it, right? It's in our nature to pair bond with each other. I'm sorry, but two keys are never going to work. You need a key and a keyhole, right? but yeah, like there's so many young men now in the world that just didn't grow up in a time where women would give them the time of day, right? Because they all think that there's something bigger and better out there for them. They're all looking for the 0.5%, not top 1, 0.5. Like I said, man, my former employee and actually former business partner for a year, he's over 6 feet tall. He's built like a fucking wall, right? Good looking, literally sitting on millions, and chicks on Tinder are like, well, you're cute, but what else do you bring to the table? He's like, obviously more than you. And this bitch was like a 3. And yeah, I mean, he's not a virgin, you know, at 21, but he's only had like 2 partners. You know what I mean? Fuck, when I turned 19, I had a dozen.
Yep.
4.
You had 4?
No, I said you're a whore.
Yeah, well, I was. But let me tell you something, guys. Growing up in the small towns in Alberta as a young man and, you know, being the hardcore drinker that I was, yes.
Yeah, and the winters are long and cold, and you need a snow bunny to snuggle up against. I know.
Yeah, and these
Absolutely.
cow, dude, the cowgirls over there, they don't fuck around, man.
Oh yeah, you got some
They don't
buffalo
fuck
bunnies up there.
They think you're fucking cute. They're taking you fucking home. And they're direct about it. There ain't no beating around the bush. Very few of them will beat around the bush. They're like, hey, cowboy, let's go. Let's go, cowboy.
The winter is long and chilly.
Yeah. Yes, and I actually agree with Father Saunders here. I don't think men can be a horse either. We're just learning. We're getting educated. So every woman.
Well, according to Deuce Bigelow, male gigolo.
Fuck you, Heavy. No, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, we grew up in a different time. And I mean, yeah, I'm not quite 40 yet, but honestly, I would not want to be a young man now coming into his manhood, because most likely the average guy is not getting a fucking inkling of attention. Like, even the fucking the pro quarterback gonna-be's type of thing are probably fucking finding that the well is drier than ever. You know what I mean?
And that's not even the worst of it. Say you do so happen to have a masculine child, 9 out of 10 they'll be rejected. They'll be, you know, as they get older, more masculine, they'll be ostracized, and they'll get the mother will get the use out of them, get the money, the state money out of them, and that's it. They're done.
Well,
under the carpet.
Another thing, and I know, like, in Victoria, BC, it's super turbo liberal, right? But this guy was like, this kid, he wasn't a kid, this young man that I had with me
Hey, put my camera on full screen. Here in a few minutes, there's going to be some a very interesting couple come out of this store that I'm parked in front, and you got to see this shit.
we gotta see it to believe it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the camera over on the door and
be ready to record.
We are recording. Oh, it's frozen up. There we go. There we go.
I'll bet they come. I bet they come out with a case of chicken and the biscuits.
I bet they come out wider than that truck.
Well, one of them's wider than the truck.
Or more colorful.
So are they going to look like a number 18 if they were walking next to each other, Brandon?
You'll just have to see it. We'll leave it for a surprise.
Fuck, I gotta get my mess. Yeah, no, like I said, man.
So, yeah, here's, yeah. And the other half is not out yet.
She looks kind of thin and nerdy. What's the problem?
She giving you the side eye.
That was fucking meth, man.
She's a meth head?
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
That thing probably weighed 100 pounds.
Oh, race car.
Yeah. If that. And the other one is a black girl, but she probably weighs about 400.
Oh, damn. Well, you got to catch
How the hell do you do meth and weigh 400 pounds?
Well, no, hey, my kid's uncle, he did meth and fucking put on like a ton of weight. Well,
I always thought the meth diet, 3 hits a day and a sensible dinner was a good plan for losing weight.
When they skip the sensible dinner, they end up with like a form of diabetes.
Oh, they get the Wilford Brimley?
I guess. I don't know what that is.
They get the diabetes?
Yeah, they get diabetes.
But and the sad thing is I know that girl.
The crackhead?
She is, yeah, she's meth head. She is the daughter of one of the guys I went to school with.
Goddamn, dude.
How old did she look? She looked 50, didn't she?
We didn't get quite a good view of her, but from what I could tell, she looked like mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s.
Not in the face.
No, I can't see her face that well.
Yeah.
You got to zoom in for that.
No, she's sitting over next to me with the window open, listening to what I have to say.
Did we get the fat one, or is she leaving?
The fat one got in the truck already.
Can she hear us?
I think Little Miss Meth Head could hear us.
Okay. I got your crack.
There's drugs in the van.
My God. She looks older than I do, and she is the daughter of one of the guys I went to school with.
Oh my God.
She's maybe mid-20s.
She's going to come over and proposition you.
Yeah, but that's the kind of guys that these boys are not fucking.
Well, as I was saying, man,
she's too good for them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because, well, I've told you guys that in this area, right? If you are not obese, you are a 6. Sometimes you're a 7 just by not being obese, just depending on where you go in this area.
Come to UK, man. 6s are beasts are nice 6s. Some are beasts are 7s over here.
Oh Jesus. My God! Yeah, no. If you're
standards of UK, man.
if you're not obese here, you're automatically a 6 to 7. Yeah, and if you just happen to be average, that's almost like 10. Like
that makes me a 1.5.
No, you sexy fucker. Use the sexy fucker.
Ape, your beard makes you a 9.
Yeah.
I got on texting my buddy the other day that I'm basically having this beard off with. And I said, how's your beard coming, bro? And I sent him a picture of me, and I had her bushed out, you know. He sends back, you look fucking Amish, but he spelled it with an O. I said, I take offense to that, sir. I don't even own a horse or buggy. And then I put in there, and besides, it's Amish with an A, you fucking heathen.
You heathen.
Hey, fucking
Hey, he
heathen.
would just write to you that to him you look like CC Top.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what we all thought.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, anyway, it's like.
Well, we've got him to say how before, so.
Yeah. Well, we did that one night.
Anyways, excuse me, Ape, to say that. But Hemi, how old do I think I look? 50? 55? I look my age. I don't look any younger.
If I'd shave off this beard, I would get carded to buy a 6-pack of beer. I have a baby face, and I just turned a half a century old.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I think your beer belly shows a little bit more investment than an 18-year-old.
Look who I found streaming.
Ooh.
He's back.
No, that's hidden playing something off.
Oh, yeah.
believe that's something that was on somebody else's channel. Oh, fuck this chick. God, there's another fucking chameleon. Only she's more like a political chameleon. I mean, come on, look at her. Look at that woman and tell me that's not a fucking trad thought right there.
I thought I was going to say tranny then. I was going to say, yes, get in there, Chris.
It could be a tranny too. Actually, that might be a tranny.
Who is that? Is that Skanky McSkankerton?
Who the fuck knows? I'm pretty sure that's a dude. Look at the face. It's all plastic. Plastic and maybe some silicone, which counts as a rubber, I believe.
It's a xenophobe.
Yeah.
Not a xenophobe. Was it a xenomorph? Sorry.
But I think actually maybe it is a tranny. Is it a tranny? Is that a transformer?
Have I started you off now, Chris? That's it, you're off now, that's it.
So, what was Good Mother doing on Chronic's stream that had everybody pissed off in Discord?
Oh, who the hell knows?
Who was she talking to that was bad-mouthing Hammerhand?
I have no idea who that person is. Unfortunately, I don't catch a lot of people's names because when you leave comments and stuff up, they're out, right? But I'm pretty sure this could possibly be a boy. That Nick looks pretty Adam's apple-y. I don't know who it is. I can't remember, but I have seen this person on a lot of like other people's stuff when we come to talking about fathers' rights and stuff.
She got some big hands.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's a boy girl. It's a make-believe.
It's a lady boy.
Brandon, you've been overseas to the Asian countries, haven't you? What is this? Is this a lady, man?
Hey, Davina says it's Blair White. It's a trans. Okay. So
it is Blair White. It is trans. Yeah. I know. Fuck me.
Why the fuck is fucking what's his name again? Alex Jones on with
because Blair White is actually coming out with all this stuff. She's actually come out and she actually says to trans don't get the op because there is actually a high suicide rate. So she's coming out like don't do it. So she's sort of, I think she's an agent, but she's coming out with all this truth stuff now.
No more Alex Jones content, for fuck's sakes. This is somebody in his chat. Miss White? No, that's Mr. White. If it's a trans, it's Mr. White. I'm sorry.
It's
Mr. White.
Hello, Daddy.
Yeah. Hello, brother Indy. How are you, sir?
He ain't country.
Yeah, he ain't country.
The bullshit, fucking shit I ain't. when you don't have power and you wake up and you run one of those generators on those extender cords to the fridge because you got bologna and beer in there, by God, that's country.
By God, that is country. I
I just
like
got
My God,
tired of
that's
that a
just
little bit
fucking
long
poor
ago.
white trash. People do that in the trailer park all the time.
What, run generators?
Yeah.
No.
Beer?
Yeah, when they get
Yep.
their power shut off, they gotta cool their beer off somehow.
Right. You
I
can
have-
only steal so many 10-pound bags of ice from the fucking Quickie Mart.
Is True Blood saying I'm white trash?
What?
True Blood saying I'm white trash. By God, I listen to David Allen Cole. I ain't white trash.
Okay, if you listen to David Alco, you're good.
Oh fuck, that's funny.
She said I could have the house and kids, and she was moving out. Sing it with me, Indy. She said she finally found the man who knew what love was all about.
Oh God.
Oh man, I don't remember the words.
We can't
drink
sing the
to that.
rest of that on YouTube or we'll get banned.
Okay,
Dude.
cheers.
Dude,
Gents,
we
I'm going to be getting out of here, so I'll catch you guys next time.
all right, brother Goat. Thank you very much for coming. Please drop your
Good
channel
evening.
if you.
Goat, I love your
what?
stuff, man. You're awesome.
Thanks
See,
very
Doc.
much. Good.
Yeah, guys, feel free to please share your channel in the chat for anybody that's not already subbed to you guys, because I generally don't bring on people that have shit content. I bring on awesome people.
I'm the exception, obviously.
Oh, you're awesome in so many ways.
Well,
Hey, Manly, I've never put out any content, and he has me on here, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the beard.
we
It's
have
the beard.
we have yeah other
Beard, it's
people.
gotta be.
Other people.
You're
bring
like
other
butthole.
things.
You're just for visual.
I'm just eye candy.
Brandon's here
There
for
you go.
police harassment, right? Eric Zombro is here to point out the police harassment. Indy's here because he's country. I mean, fuck. What more do you want? It's a fucking virtual fucking playland of content right there.
Where'd DZ go?
He had to pop off.
He had to
Oh,
leave.
did he?
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking funny.
No,
But
I
yeah,
just
no.
been in and out. I've been busy, guys.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
It's life.
All good,
Hey,
man.
Bachelor.
What do you mean you don't got shit, JR? Hell, when you get drinking, you get some good entertainment going on in the chat, and you know how to piss people off.
Hey, Singletown.
Yeah.
Hey, you did a couple of streams ago. I was on listening to you, and did you turn in your military resignation?
Yep.
Okay. How is that going? If you don't mind me asking, did you get any blowback from it, or is everything okay with you?
No, it's a process. They wouldn't initially take it, but I have to get in touch, get in touch with them again, because they are not used to that. They are used to just people to suck it up.
Yeah.
So that's the new normal for them. That people say that what you did was treason. So I'll give you this one back. So yeah, they are not in. They are not in for this week. So next week I'm going to have a chat with them again. So I'm going to find out.
Well, good luck to you. I hope you get what you want out of it.
Hey, either way, they can lock me up, but I ain't gonna take some Canadian guns in my hands. So they can fuck off.
Amen, brother. Give them the fucking finger.
Yep. They
Because
can
you
they
know
can
what?
they can get a hole in their stomach with that thing that I'm having it on my logo. That's what they're worth. Nothing.
Well, just make sure you use a 9mm because according to Potato Puddinghead Joe, it'll blow your lungs out your back.
Mhm. Well,
Fucking moron.
Puddinghead Joe.
I have been on the shooting range with that 84 millimeter Carl Gustav, so I know.
Look, I found them. I finally found everybody else. Look.
Oh, okay.
Look where they are. Look, there's Smurf. There's D-Man. Traitors, all of them traitors.
Are they on Black
Crit-
Wolf?
No, this is MGTOW values.
Oh.
I didn't know they were streaming tonight either. Traitors.
Who's there? Or whose stream are they on?
MGTOW values.
MGTOW
Oh,
values
yeah.
streaming. Yeah. So I got to go and harass a little bit.
Where does their allegiance lie?
Well, certainly not with Canada.
I call for a raid.
Yeah, I stopped going to MGTOW value stream because he says some stuff that I don't agree with, and he's pretty adamant about it. And he brings it up every podcast or every cast, and he never has anybody on except for him. He doesn't have dissenting voices.
What does he bring up that you don't agree with?
Well, a lot of you guys aren't gonna agree with me on this stuff either, but you're not gonna get in my face about it either every time we talk or every time you have a show. Y'all know that I lived in Ukraine for 5 years, right?
Right.
And I have a lot of friends there, and everybody's like, fuck Ukraine, go Putin. And I'm of the opinion that both the Ukrainian government and the Russian government are awful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the pro Putin camp or the pro Zelensky camp. I'm in the don't fucking bomb my friends camp.
I hear that.
All right.
So I'm gonna have to
and
leave.
I just, just the constant stream of pro-Russian propaganda just pisses me off. So I stopped listening to it. I'm not getting that. I love almost everything the MGTOW values has to say, but right now, when I've had 3 friends fucking killed over there, I don't want to hear how fucking wonderful the Russians are.
Yeah, no, they're awful people on both sides, and I want to thank you for
the governments on both sides is just terrible. It's oligarchy versus oligarchy.
Yeah.
But
everyone say goodnight to a manly loaded. He's on his way out.
All right.
Later, man.
Have a good night.
It's good to be with you all again on stream, and I'm glad I could be a help. And thanks for hosting me, Chris.
Anytime, brother.
Donate to the Emperor.
The Empire.
The Empire. Well, the Emperor of the Empire.
It's for you.
Hey, Manly, come back when you can stay longer.
I will do, man. It's fucking 20 to 4. All right, man. That is us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Oh yeah, no, it's quite late over there for those guys. But we've got a guy that lives in a fucking mead barrel with us, so he's up all the time. It doesn't really matter how late it is there. I think it's 6 a.m. now, probably for him.
Who?
For you. What time is it?
19 minutes to 5.
Oh,
AM?
that was close.
Yeah, 1 hour. What the hell? 1 hour to and from. That's the last thing.
Hey, you know what? I want to mention. I like that picture that he just showed because if you can get a chick like that out into the woods and club her over the head, she'll make a good housewife. You just have to tie her up tightly. You know what I mean?
Well, hey Mitchell, you come from the land of the Sam Squatches. You could probably get you a little honey Sam Squatch and
Oh
She'll
yeah,
probably treat you right.
Oh, forest brides are a thing, guys. Forest brides are a thing. Believe it or not, it's quite common. And
You just hope her brothers don't show up.
yeah.
Well, have you ever seen Seven Brides for Seven Brothers?
I have not. This sounds interesting.
It's a musical from the 1950s where there's these guys that live out in the country, and they can't get a date because they live so far out in the country.
Yeah.
So they go into town, and they still there's these girls that there's 7 daughters, and so they steal the women, and they keep them over the winter, and they all fall in love.
Oh.
And they all sing about it.
Yeah, singing and dancing both.
And then when they got back to town, they threw Me Too charges on all 7 brothers.
Well, they would never, they would never make a movie like that these days. But that was fucking Rodgers and Hammerstein, big time Hollywood homosexuals.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they were fabulous.
You guys are fucking hilarious.
I'd clubber and grinder. That's some good eating.
It totally happens, man. Like there's parts of Canada, like I said, we're very sparsely populated, guys. Now, that being said, there are huge ranches that are deep in the forest where like if you want to get stuff in and out, the best way to do it is by helicopter, right? And yeah, there's people that live out there. They take care of their animals. They have them shipped in and sold, whatnot, and then they bring back what they need for basically like almost up to a year, right? I think they do like every 6 month big deliveries type of deal. But if you think the forest bride thing doesn't happen, where occasionally they don't fucking find a way out, like nearby town or something, and fucking just take somebody, you're sadly mistaken. That shit still happens, even here.
Well, they've had a lot of up in BC. They've had a lot of Native girls, your First Nations girls, that just end up just disappearing.
Oh yeah, no,
and they don't never hear nothing about them. So I don't know what's going on there.
Well,
it happens everywhere.
Yeah, it happens everywhere. Unfortunately, yes, it does happen here quite often because they do a lot of hitchhiking. They go partying in other towns and stuff, and people pick them up. And like, there's the one highway up near Kitimat that is like, it's literally tagged the Highway of Tears because many women have gone missing on that highway.
Isn't that where that one guy, that one serial killer that had that hog farm, wasn't he up in that area?
No. He's down by Vancouver.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. No, there was one guy that was caught. They figured he killed about 16 women off that highway that went missing.
I had an aunt that was stalked by Ted Bundy for 3 days.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She and if you looked at her senior picture, she was the picture perfect victim for him. Long black hair parted in the middle, really pretty. Yeah, he was I think he was on his way from Seattle, because this was in Spokane, Washington, which is on the Idaho border. And I think it might have been when he was on the run, when he left there and pretty much went down to Colorado and got arrested a couple times, went to Utah. And she called the cops, and she said, there's a guy in this goldish colored Volkswagen Bug, and he keeps following me to my apartment. And her apartment had a security gate, that you'd punch the number and drive through, and then it shut. And one time he tried to run through that gate, got out of his car, and he didn't make it.
Yep.
And the first thing out of the cop's mouth was, do you own a gun? Was the first thing he asked her.
You better get one.
Yeah.
Like it as it states here, it's between Prince Rupert, Prince George, and the Kitimat area. But like, it's a big stretch of highway, and whoever follows it, like Jesus Christ, Like this.
That's a couple 100 miles, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's a big fucking kill zone, dude.
Yeah.
And guys, you get, like I've said, like I used to live here at Kitimat, and Terrace was the party town if you wanted to go into the big city. But Kitimat's beautiful. This area, like this road alone, dozens have gone missing there. Dozens.
Hey,
But,
Chris.
Yeah, brother.
Look up the Illinois Enema Bandit.
The what?
Look up the Illinois Enema Bandit.
It's gonna get me kicked off.
Was that Fonder Souther's nickname in high school?
I was getting ready to say Saunders had something to do with this.
So it's the Indiana?
Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. How do you spell that?
Don't fool us in this shit.
Oh, ILL.
Illinois.
How do you spell it?
ILLINOIS.
Damn, he's educated.
Oh my god. It's like second in the search. Come on, you stupid fucking mouse.
Out of the serial creeps from that period of time that Ted Bundy was running around doing his thing, this guy was my favorite. And even Frank Zappa wrote a song about him.
Female victims involved sexual assaults where he would give them, he would actually like give them enemas.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he'd break into their house, steal their shit, and make sure that they had proper colon health.
Oh my fucking god. Well, you know what? Hey, I mean, that's better than having their throat cut, right?
Yeah, he didn't kill anybody. He just fucking gave
them an enema.
Wow.
That's almost as bad as those guys that were on the Home Alone thing where they were like the soggy bandit boys or whatever they call themselves. They just flood the fucking the house after they robbed it.
Right after he leaves, he's like, or right before he leaves, you're gonna feel a slight pressure.
Yeah. This might be a little warm or a little cold, depending on your internal temperature.
There's
one fast Dak.
Oh, there's Dak.
What's
Hey,
up,
guys.
Dak?
Man.
What's going on? Hey, Chris, do me a favor. Put me on full screen for a sec, okay? Got something to show you guys.
It's not more porn, is it?
No, yeah.
No, it's not more
yeah.
porn, for fuck's sakes.
Well, did you see what Good Mother did? Whoa, where you get that one?
Hey.
Nice.
Okay, hold on. I got another one.
Wait a minute, he's in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's racist against his own country.
What the hell? Dak, we're just going to sneak you down here,
You know who that's from?
America.
Yeah, from our brother Melfagate Ape.
Oh.
Really?
Look at him with that smug look.
They're awesome, brother. Thank you.
Finally
so
got
much.
there, huh?
Fucking right. Yeah, they got here today, man. Thank you so much. They're so awesome.
You're
We're
welcome.
recruiting
I hope
down
they're-
here.
I hope they're the right size.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
I'm glad you like them. I saw that dirt bike one and I was like, oh, damn, I got to get that one.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I can go make fun of all my neighbors now and say, see, here's a real country.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like they're not much better off than we are.
Well,
It's just slower pace.
Yeah.
Slower pace on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
Hey, Brandon.
Yo.
You were talking about your little enema bandit or whatever. This guy I worked with when he was in the Army, when he was in basic and they were and then training afterwards, they'd go on maneuvers. There was a guy that was ethering guys in their tents and he was buggering them.
Yeah, I heard of that. I heard.
And he said no one knew who the fuck this guy was. And he says they started calling him the Ether Bunny. And I fucking laughed so fucking hard.
There's a story like that in Canada, I swear, in Alberta. It's an oil rig story.
Yeah.
You must have heard that, eh, Chris? Like the ether.
No,
ether
we've seen people do it. Like not actually fuck them, but we've heard of the one that did. Yeah, he got fucking raped by the whole crew after they ethered him. Right?
Yeah, that's what this guy was doing, and he was they called him the ether bunny, and when they went out on maneuvers, they're like, keep your butthole tight, watch out, the ether bunny's around.
Yeah.
And then I guess he tried to ether a dude, and the dude woke up and made some noise, grabbed a hold of him, and then everybody around found out who it was, and I guess they freaking did the old hat dance on that dude.
Yeah, well, I heard the story, and I don't know if it's like an urban legend kind of thing, but yeah, the one guy got ethered and then raped by the whole crew. And then he went on a vengeance spree.
I say that's jumping into a hard gang there.
Yeah,
getting jumped in. That's a.
But it is a rolling gag to take somebody's hard hat during the summer, especially because you've got the sweat band inside, right? So what we do is we soak that fucker in ether, and they go out and they start doing their thing, and then all of a sudden you'd see them fucking starting to get dozy, right? So it wouldn't knock them out right away, obviously, but yeah, they start to get dozy, and they're yawning and whatnot, and fucking couple of them did pass out, but generally the gag is to just make them fucking drowsy, right? Not to actually
or you got
lay them
somebody
out.
there to catch them.
Well, yeah, we don't want anybody fucking actually getting hurt, so somebody usually goes over and flicks their hard hat off, right? And then goes and sends them to the doghouse to sit down for a bit. But yeah, we would
take machinist bluing and put it on the inside of the hard hat headband. That or potty chemical, like blue potty chemical, and man, you talk about some pissed off people.
Yeah, no shit. That stuff's
take machinist bluing and you put it on the eye cups on a pair of binoculars, because one of the guys would look into the train yards and see what numbers of the motors coming in, and he'd grab that and go just stuck them up to his eye, and he has these two blue raccoon eyes. And that stuff does not. Dax used it, I'm sure. It don't come off.
Put machinist bluing on ear cuffs on a phone on the phone, and then you call the phone, somebody goes over there and picks it up.
We used to do that to the foreman. We'd have another guy at another phone, and we blew that earpiece, and then call and page him, say, call this number, and the guy'd run over there and go
yep and it don't come off. Motherfuckers walking around with blue ears.
Yeah, it looks like you got a Gorbachev birthmark on your ear.
Oh, I haven't tried that one.
Gross.
I haven't tried that one.
Horrible.
The ether thing I've seen done. We've also, we fuck with a lot of greenhorns, right? Like fucking, we have this material. It's for the threads, so it's a thread dope, right? And it's heavily lead based. So we tell the guys that if we were going to get like pipe inspected, so x-raying the pipe to make sure that it was still all structurally sound, or to find a hole in some, they'd come out and we'd pull the pipe through their x-ray machine and they'd mark it off with each color, right? Well, we told the one young guy that, because this is a radiation thing and you're young and you want to have kids, you have to take this pipe dope and fucking smear it all over your nutsack.
No.
And he did. He did. He went fucking gung ho with. And we were like, you gotta get it on there good, man. You gotta get it on there good, right? Like you gotta get it all over your cock and balls, and you gotta put it on thick, and then you just throw away your underwear and stuff after. But yeah, he totally went and did it. We've had a couple of guys stroking pipe to get the fluid to go through. That's it. Oh my god!
Wow, unbelievable.
Oh, we've done some fucked up shit, dude. Well, you got to think. Okay, when we drill a well, right, or when the well is first drilled, all the casing is solid, right? So there's no perforations for oil to actually flow in. So we have to do what they call perforating. which is taking a long tube that is full of explosives and ball bearings in every like 6 inches spread around this thing. And we have to run that down the hole, fill up the hole with oil, and then detonate it, right? So it blows out the perforations of the pipe and into the formation. We had a water hauler, oil hauler come out, and he was green as fucking grass when it came to doing perforations. This was his first. Okay, so now occasionally shit goes wrong and the gun doesn't go off, right? It doesn't detonate. So now we're pulling a live fucking gun, basically a big tube of fucking high explosive out of the fucking hole, bringing it to surface and trying to figure out what's going wrong. We had this guy there, and it was like, okay, normally, your gunshots don't fail, right? I think I've had it happen like 7 or 8 times in different times, right? And I've done hundreds of fucking well holes. But we had this guy freaked right the fuck out, like so fucking nervous, man. And it's like everybody's just laughing because usually shit doesn't go wrong, right? And fucking so he's sitting in the doghouse and he's smoking his cigarettes, and we can tell he's nervous as fuck because as soon as the fucking field soup opened the door to call him out, because he had to pump the oil down behind the gun being logged into place, he just fucking like jumped, right? He was terrified, but he got out into his truck, and now they log it into place, and then they just kind of fine tune the area that they want to go in. So they called him out there before they were done the fine tuning to find the actual exact spot that they wanted to do the perforations. And he got out into his truck, I guess, and just started fucking flogging on the pump. Luckily, they got the gun into place just in time before the hole was starting to fill up with oil, right? Because once the hole's filled with oil, they don't know where their gun is. All the fucking sensor relays just go black, right? And he just fucking got in his truck and was so nervous, he just started pumping fucking oil. Well, okay, that's good enough. He fucked up, but it was, not a big deal. We didn't have to change everything out and then circulate that oil out and start all over. But here's the thing. We ran this gun in. He came back to the doghouse, right? Just kind of like relieved that he had gotten it off the site type of thing, or the immediate area where this explosive was going to go off. And Lord and behold, the fucking guys come into the logging truck and they're like, hey, we got a live detonation. We got to pull the fucking gun out live and see what's going wrong. So now he's super nervous because they're keeping him there until we get the gun back out of the hole and check the fucking detonator to see if it's just like frayed or something. We pulled that gun live 14 fucking times. We had him scared to fucking death. After 4.5 hours, he left that site so fucking fast, right? He barely even filled out the ticket. He just dropped it and was gone. We had him freaked right the fuck out, but apparently their entire det cord was fucked from the start. So, yeah, we pulled that gun live 14 times coming to surface, and he was just shitting bricks. But when that thing goes off on surface, no matter where you are on that location, you're dead. Right? We've had one person
packed full of ball bearings.
Well, not only that, but it's the high explosives, right? The shockwave that kills you. We've had one person recorded that survived, and he was up in the dairy. So he was up in a triple, which is like 80, 90 feet high. And the detonation, or when it went off, it was still just inside the wellhead. So it was just below surface, right? But it still killed everybody else on site. And he busted like blood vessels in his eyes. He's deaf, completely lost his hearing. He was lucky to survive it at all, but everybody else on location was killed. But yeah, when these fucking guns go off, guys, it's a whole lot of rock and roll behind it.
That's something you don't hear about. I mean, I don't. We've got oil drills down, oil wells down here and in Colorado and Wyoming, but boy, you never hear anything about a crew getting killed by that. Well, let's keep that pretty hush hush, huh?
It's so rare to have failures, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a rare event to, like I said, I've pulled like 7 or 8 different guns live, and it's nothing for me. But when you get new guys on there, like they're fucking terrified. So here's the pipe, and you can see these are where the ball bearings are sitting in shape charges. Now the entire tube has a line of explosives sitting, or a deck cord going down through it. Plus, every one of those ball bearings has like a you know what a small brake fluid cup looks like, or a small brake fluid bottle, the shape of one. Yeah, essentially one of those packed full of high explosives at every one of those circles. So when it goes off, that's what you're kind of getting to go off down underground.
So is that like a shaped charge then? Because you want them going into one specific spot. They just don't randomly just bounce around or whatever.
Here's a look at the cups, right? So these are shaped charges. Now there's still a steel ball bearing in there, but this is a copper jacket shaped charge, and they're screwed in. So that's what's screwed into there. And then the explosive is actually packed behind it. So when it blows up, it blows all of these small channels out into the formation. But when this thing goes off on surface, it's just catastrophic. You know what I mean? Like, it is fucking devastating. Like, whole leases are completely fucking. If there was anything standing on the location, it's generally knocked down or blown apart. So it's trippy as fuck. But yeah, we pulled those things live all the time for fucking fun. You know what I mean? It didn't bother us at all. So,
hey guys, I got to drop. You guys have a good stream, okay?
You too.
Later. Abe, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, brother.
No problem.
Later, Dak.
All right, good night, guys.
Night, brother.
Later.
So there's one after it's blown through. Right? So now this thing is sitting with like 1,000 liters of oil on top of it underground, right? 700 feet. And it's just fucking, it still misshapes everything down there. You pull out a liner of casing, or the liner itself, and that thing is just fucking mangled, dude. It's like shaped in all different ways. But now the objective is to never take out that liner, right? That's actually in the well bore itself. Now, some guys have gone in and re-perforated them, right? So there's like a full setup system. So there's your cups going inside that tube. And this is all high explosives in behind it. And there's the guys fucking with the det cord and the detonator itself. So this fails to trigger, right? And you have to pull the goddamn gun up. Now with this thing, and it could go off at any time. Anytime on the way up. Bump it the wrong way, bang. Goes off. Trippy as shit. But yeah, that's the oil field, right? It's fun times. So yeah, this let's say this is the actual liner and casing of the fucking well hole. Some guys have gone in here and blown these up like 3 or 4 times just to clear out the formation, right? To allow flow to work better. So when you pull this stuff up, it is mangled to fuck. Like, just mangled. I haven't seen one come up and be reused. That's for goddamn well sure. So fun times. And there's different types.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was that much to it.
Oh, there's lots to it. That's drill casing or drill pipe there, right? So that's not what we worked with on the service rigs. But there's lots to it. Like, you can get charges that are just there to that they have no like shrapnel to push out. They are just there to open up formations. So they just set off an explosion to basically open up the channels real quick.
Make a cavity.
Yeah, to make cavities. These are some pretty small guns if they are guns. But yeah, there's all kinds of different shit. Like, usually those ones are done with a solid rocket fuel. The ones that just clear out channels. They're just done with a basically, like, it's a plastic explosive that's made with rocket fuel. So high octane fuel. And it's just to create the cavity. Right? Fun time.
No, your hazing is a lot worse than the hazing we did for aircraft.
Yeah, aircraft, like I told Indy, I always wanted to go into aviation painting when I was a painter. But fuck, the qualifications you got to get just to do that is like ungodly.
Yeah, but our hazing was a lot more gentle. We didn't ether anybody. The worst, we a lot back when I first started, they had a bunch of aircraft that still required a squib to start.
Mm-hmm.
And a squib is just, it's a little bit of black powder. And they would explode the black powder, and it would turn the turbine, and the jet would start. And we used to have guys do a yell test because they're checking for vibration. So we'd get them to stick their faces in the back end of the engines and start yelling. Ah! So you'd hear these, you'd see these guys standing on ladders with their faces, maybe half their body inside the back end of an aircraft engine, a turbine, and they're just ah! Ah!
Yeah, okay, that's just morbid. You guys are sick fucks. I've seen the video footage of a guy getting sucked into an engine. Jesus Christ.
Getting sucked in, that's a different story. That's death.
Death. Well,
but then after the guy, we'd be yelling for a little bit. The crew chief would set off like a half a squib without the fuel turned on. Completely fucking black.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, our hazing is mostly psychological. We just like to fuck with people to make them do stupid shit. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I've had tool pushes that because we worked on reserves, right? If we worked on a reserve, the to get the ability to work on these reserves and do wells, like to get the band's permission, we had to hire at least one or two guys from the reserve for the days that we were there, right? It was kind of like force work project. Some of these guys were so fucking useless that we wouldn't leave any of our crew home. We'd take our full crew no matter what. And when these guys show up, if we didn't haze them like that, the tool push would like fucking send them off to go fishing or some shit all day. All day. Go fishing. If there's a lake nearby, go fishing. Just get the fuck off our location. Because they're too dangerous, right? It's too dangerous to have green guys fucking around, especially when you're trying to do some shit. And let's be honest with you, they're not the most motivated people out there. You know what I mean? Like, I've met a couple people who were half black, half native, and the common joke was that these people were too lazy to steal. So that's pretty fucking bad, but it is what it is. Yeah, no, like fucking, we've done all kinds of stupid shit like that, but generally nobody got hurt. Like, we weren't out to kill anybody or maim them or anything. The getting people drowsy, that's risque, but when everybody's in on the joke, I mean, somebody's close by for a reason. You know what I mean? If you see somebody behind you or he's following you around with a big fucking smile on his face, most likely they've done something and they're waiting for you to fucking like get all fucking lucid and fall over.
Have you ever had an ether headache? Those, oh.
No, I actually haven't. I never got any
man.
hazing like that. I just got to take part in it.
Well, lucky you.
Yeah. Okay. When you get on some crews, though, it's really bad, dude, because we have to do drills, just like you would do fire drills and stuff like that. We had to do man-down drills. So randomly, the tool push would come to one of the guys, right? Usually one of the roughnecks, which is the lower guys, and they would tell them to just go somewhere, hide away, and lay down. Right? This was a man-down drill. And he would start the clock from the time or whoever disappeared from the rest of the crew's view until they noticed he was gone. Because we get guys that go down and they die from H2S, right? It's dangerous shit. It kills you instantly. It shuts everything down in high enough concentrations, and you can't smell it. In lighter concentrations, it does smell like rotten eggs. But yeah, if a guy goes down like near one of the bleed valves or one of the fucking fluid tanks, they now have to time how long before the rest of the crew notices that person's missing, right? And after 30 minutes, he fucking shuts down the rig, goes over to the tool or to the driller and the crew that's on the floor, and he asks them, "Where the fuck's the other guy?" And he gets super mad if they don't notice, right? So if you don't notice, you failed. And when that report goes in, you generally lose your Christmas bonus or something like that.
What's H2S, Chris?
H2S,
sulfide.
hydrogen sulfide, yeah.
Hydrogen sulfide?
Yeah. So it's a natural gas. It forms in the same formations you'll pull oil out, right? And it's just a byproduct that's left behind with hydrocarbons. So the
They just
breakdown.
have pumps that pump that out to atmosphere then, or
No. Some of them do. Some of them do. If you have a gassy well, then some of them do. But most of it's just it.
It's not a gassy well. It's a Saunders well.
It's a Saunders well. It's what we refer to in the field as a sour well. But it's just the same place your propane sits and stuff like that. It's sitting in there as well. It's just one of the hydrocarbons. And generally it's in almost every well, but in small doses, right? Now you get in certain areas and it's very, very high concentration, like fully masked up on a fucking breathing system all day long. So you're actually tethered to a tank holding trailer that is holding oxygen for you, and you're in a full face mask, right?
That would suck.
Yeah, and every 15 minutes, or sorry, no, every half hour, you have to be checked. So there's a reason why we have to be very clean shaven, right? Not even a day or like a 5 o'clock shadow will do, because if you have to go rescue somebody who's gone down because an H2S burp came up through the well and knocked them out, right? It just shuts down your nervous system. Everything turns off. So if you're hit by a high enough concentration, everything just turns off. It's not that you're dead, but you are dead. You know what I mean? So it's not like anything's obstructing you from being revived, other than the fact that you're still in that environment, because wherever you've literally taken your first breath of it, it's the last breath you took, right?
Yeah, it displaces all the oxygen, or it just instantly
No.
just shuts it down.
It just turns everything off. It's soluble in water, very soluble in water. So even if you walk in a puddle that has a high concentration of H2S gas in it, that'll fucking knock you out. You can
So it
step in a
goes through
puddle.
the skin like instantly then.
No, not through the skin. It goes through the nasal passages, your airway passages. It can burn your eyes, give you a bloody nose in lower concentration. Like if you're in lower concentrations for quite a while, you'll start to bleed. So you'll start to hemorrhage and your throat will burn because of the sulfur. But in high enough concentrations, it just turns you off. Right? So if you kick up just a plume of it by stepping in a puddle, right? Quite a bit of it just gets released from your step, but it's high concentration. So you just go down. Now, the hard part of that is you have to train guys not to react, because if somebody falls from across the fucking the well location, right, which we call the lease, if somebody falls, your natural instinct is to run over there. You have to stop that. You have to turn that off, because if you go over there, you're going down too, and now we have to rescue 2 people, right? So the thing is, shut everything down, do some kind of an alarm if there's a horn or something nearby, because we do have those that are just standing out there like emergency horns. And We have H2S packs that are set up so that when you open them up, you can throw them over your back, slap on your mask, turn on your tank, and then go get the guy, right? And get him out of that area. So, yeah, if you want to look up H2S training, it's a very easy course to do, and it's actually required in a lot of places in Alberta. Like even McDonald's employees have H2S training, just in case. Even though they're not near, well, you could get the wind to take it over to a city and kill everybody in the city if the release was big enough, right? And yeah,
Well,
I
don't
mean,
give them any ideas.
trust me, it's crossed my mind. But it's incredibly effective and potent. Now, I've been in the lower concentrations to where I got the bloody nose, right? The itchy, burning eyes, the sore, burning throat. No problem. But I went through one area and we were just bleeding off the gas from letting it sit overnight, right? Because we have to close everything in at the end of the night, and in the morning we have to come open it up and bleed off any pressure that's built up. So we were bleeding off this well. It wasn't supposed to be too sour, and I just walked across the stream essentially where it was coming out of the side pipe. I just walked across the stream. Like, this thing's been bleeding around us for like fucking 20 minutes. Nobody's having an issue. But because I got into that small zone, right, and I concentrated it because I was right in its path, and it didn't have enough time to mix with enough oxygen and stuff around to basically dilute it, it dropped me right to my knees. Like, I literally still felt the wind blowing on my back. That's how far I got away from that fucking valve. So I went across the stream, and where I fell was literally on the other side of the stream. I just went right to my knees. And that's the only real bad experiences I've had with it. But generally, if it's high enough concentration to be something that's concerning, you're packed up. You know what I mean? You have sometimes crews on standby that are just there watching you guys, all fully packed up, ready to go in if somebody goes down. So, scary shit, but hey, that was part of rigging, right?
Yeah.
Fun times, guys, fun times. Now it's dangerous. So anyway,
I'm gonna have to bounce, guys. Tomorrow's Monday morning for me, so I got to get ready to hit the rack. I got to get up at 5 in the morning.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent on you guys.
That's all right.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm going to bounce too. I'm down to 8% on my phone.
All right, brother.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming.
Have a good night, boys.
Welcome.
Brother Indy, what's new and exciting, buddy?
Busier than a one-legged man in ass kicking contest.
Really?
Oh shit.
Oh shit. What you doing?
Homestead.
Well, there you go. It's good life. It's good life, brother. I got out to do some gardening today, but not much. Fucking skeeters are coming out to eat us.
Yeah, the skeeters are bad, man. But it's just, people don't realize how tough it is. I mean, it'll wear an old ass out.
Dude, we've talked about this many times. The Chaz thing should have been a wake-up call for a lot of city folk. Right? Because that was fucking hilarious.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Anybody other than military infantry or something like that, come out and run around with this old 53-year-old ass. Come on. Bring it.
Bring it, motherfuckers. Yeah, no, fucking, are you doing your planting now, or you should be done planting, right?
No, I'm not doing any planning. I'm trying to develop the homestead.
But you're not doing any planting?
Do what?
You're not doing any planting at all this year?
I don't have any place really to plant or develop. see, I'm refurbishing an old homestead that was immaculate back in the 50s, 60s. So I got to go through, pull trees, cut trees. You know what I mean?
Gotcha, buddy. Gotcha. Well, that's how it goes, I guess. I mean, at least you're still gonna have a nice fucking homestead when you're done, though.
Right. I'm kind of pulling a true blood where he's kind of going more primitive than me. I'll pull in all kinds of equipment.
Mm. Well, look at him. He looks like he's primitive.
Well, he's not that primitive because he has a cell phone. So
Yeah, that's true. And he likes to go look at ditch pigs.
Well,
And
he
meth-
was
meth
talking.
addicts.
He was talking about digging his foundation by hand, and I'm like, wow, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to have to dig a fucking foundation by hand, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Especially, well, I can't remember what he said his size was. I thought he said 1,200 square feet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something small, but he said he dug it, and then the rains came in, and walls collapsed on him, and
Yeah.
I'm like, dude.
Yeah, fuck, it's hard enough to deal with that, man, if you're fucking digging it out when it's dry. Especially being a nice, heavy, sandy area, it'll fucking collapse in on you in no time. So, I can't imagine having to dig it all out just for fucking fun afterwards.
See, that's why I was kind of wondering. It's like, dude, you're gonna have to get that so much dug, get it poured, and then get side supports on it or something.
Yeah, get some kind of bracing up. That's if the fucking ground underneath is hard enough to allow it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because, yeah, if your supports are too small, they'll sink away too. Yep. Oh, I hate it fucking with foundations, man, because cement work after was such a bitch shit. I hate doing cement work, guys, especially pulling down structures. I hated it.
I just like doing shit once.
Yeah. Well, I think if I had to build my own structure, I'd look for a rock and start chiseling it out by hand rather than pour fucking cement. Good times. Plus, you got lots of exercise.
Well, see, and this is just me. I'm not picking or anything, but all these individuals say, just go to the gym, just go to the gym. Come out in the goddamn homestead and let's see your gym shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, come turn fucking, 2 tons of fucking dirt. Oh, and
Yeah.
on your way back, turn it the other way.
Go out there and cut a bunch of trees up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. I still take the homesteading life any fucking day of the week. Any day of the week.
Well, to me, I would rather go out and work my ass off and have some production from it. Which I understand you're in a subdivision, you're in a city or something like that. Yeah, go to the gym, work out. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you're just lifting. To me, you're just lifting and doing things. When you're doing things on a homestead, you're lifting, you're doing cardio, you're doing all that shit all damn day long.
Oh, yeah.
And plus getting something accomplished.
Yep. And I mean, especially when you're first starting out, man, to sow a field, like, holy buck. Holy fuck. Yes, having equipment is super nice. And if that's the one place you can afford equipment, that's the place to fucking get it for, even if it's a rental. But if you have to sew it all by hand, Jesus, you're there forever, dude. Forever. You know, it ain't easy shit, but like you said, the rewards at the end is this is all yours now, and it's to a point very self-sustaining. You know what I mean? We've lost that, Indy.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That hold on, I gotta grab a beer. Continue
All
the
right.
conversation.
Drink. What about yourself, Bachelor? Didn't you say you were you had a fairly decent property that you were looking to kind of change around a bit to be a bit more self-sufficient, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it's not on the market yet, but I know that it has been on the market before, but they pulled it down.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they yeah the price was a bit too high, and nobody except for me looked at it. So basically, it has have had one owner, the initial owner of it. So yeah, they're gonna be what is it called in English? You are sitting and waiting for a property that the owner is getting tender for
right.
for getting the sale, but the price, that it is a bit too high.
Yeah, so he's trying to wait for a better economic time around your area.
Mm.
Yeah.
So no, because I live in an area where there's one of the entrance gate roads to the city I'm living in. So yeah, I can hear the trucks, the motorcycles. The works in my backyard. I can hear it, but so as long as they don't want to sell, then or have it out. So that's yeah.
Well, you can't force their hand, right?
No, it's comes down to the sailor, to the ones that wants to sell it. Contra who's gonna buy it. Um, so so it's what's called the work. Uh, um, the price is going to be in the middle.
Okay. Well, I mean, all you can do is make your offer until they're fucking finally willing to sell, but if they're holding on to it until they get the price they want, I mean, they could be holding on to it forever, and once the bubble pops, it pops. You're fucked.
And
It's gone.
It's gonna pop.
Oh,
Yeah.
it has no choice but to pop.
Yeah.
No choice.
Well, that going back to what I think the beginning of the stream was about slavery and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The only way, in my opinion, you're going to get away from that is you're going to have to go rule and you're going to have to sacrifice.
Yep.
If it's beanie weenies and black and white beer, there you go. You're going to have to go that. I mean, you cannot keep paying into a system that is just going to keep drawing out of you.
Yep. Well, they'll never stop trying to take more, right?
Nope.
Never. They're worse than vampires.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to pay taxes and this, that, and the other. You're going to have to do those things, but the less you draw out, it's all consumerism. You're going to have to, I mean, yeah, you might get some greens out of the garden, make a tomato sandwich, and black and white beer. There you go.
Yep. Well, I'm hoping I can get my barley sown now after this this good rainfall, and hopefully I'll be able to harvest my own barley for my own short beers.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, we're coming up on fucking 3.5 hours already. I think we should take this to the after party, and I'll drop the channel link for anybody that wants to jump in just to shoot the shit. But we'll end the stream here, and I want to thank everybody for coming. Any
You're
final
welcome.
thoughts, good? Any final thoughts?
Let's party.
Let's party. All right, guys. Everybody enjoy your Friday, and thanks again for coming. We will
Drink.
talk to you. We will talk to y'all again soon. And that was far too late. God damn it, Indy. All right, guys. See you later.